How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, what is really happening with Janet Jackson? Hey, you got people like D.O. Hughley talking about Janet Jackson has a fake nose and all kind of stuff, all because she doesn't really know if Kamala Harris is black or not. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we got Chicago gangs who are upset with city leadership because the Venezuelan gangs are coming in and starting the problem, taking over blocks, causing all types of crime and violence. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the Trump shooter had a manifesto. I guess you could call it a manifesto, one page, a letter, a note, whatever. And in the manifesto, there was a bounty on his head. Now, Marsha Blackburn thinks it's a little bit inappropriate for the DOJ or whoever to have released that because, of course, you're going to get copycats. So we'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Marcellus Williams, this guy is being touted by the Innocence Project and others as an innocent man. They wanted to stop his execution. Too late. Oh, well, he dead. Deservedly so. I couldn't think of anybody more deserving than this guy. You want to take an innocent woman's life, stab her multiple times, and then robbing her and selling her products when you're already a career criminal. He is exactly where he should be, and y'all know what it is. But we're going to talk about all that and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh, we're going to get to Marcellus Williams and everything. Now, about my Chicago police officer friend, I did get an email, and I think I trust my source. We may have lost our Chicago police officer friend. Okay, we may have lost him. I don't want to put his full name out there because I did get that information. But if what I got is true, which I think it is, may our Chicago retired police officer friend rest in peace. Okay? A lot of you guys are asking, because you guys may know, if you guys watch the show normally, he would call in at the end of my show, every show for a while. I don't know how long he was doing it. It might have been a year or more, but he would call in at the very last call, and that'd be how I close my show. But unfortunately, I did get word that he passed away. And, you know, sometimes it's how it happens. You know, you retire, you do what you do for a long time, and then it's like, what's your purpose? So hopefully we were able to add more to his purpose after his retirement up until the point where he passed. So, yeah, RIP to our brother, retired Chicago police officer friend. I know a lot of you guys are asking, so I did get that email. So shout out to him and shout out to his family. All right. Yeah. Prayers. Shout out to him. Prayers out to the family. Okay. Now I wanted to get that straight from the beginning. I don't want to start off on the bad note, but you guys deserve to know. But awkwardly changing a little bit here. We have a whole lot going on tonight. There's a lot happening all over the media. And I'm sure he would be appreciative of these topics and he'd be wanting to chime in. He'd be wanting to watch and see what's going on with us. All right. So, yeah, man, you know, our life is not promised. You know, we got a certain amount of time here and life ain't promised to nobody. So I say to everybody, just make the best out of your life. Whatever you got going on in your life, make the best of it. Make the right decisions and do the right thing. All right. So, yeah, somebody says you just retired. Hey, if you just retired, stay active, stay out there, stay moving, stay doing things. You know, don't sit in the rocking chair. Just be out there moving, doing things. All right. Now, speaking about retirement, and this is going to be a kind of a weird shift, I want you guys to give a birthday shout out to my mom. Today is her birthday. Yes, just right after my birthday on Sunday, hers is today. So, Mom, if you're watching, happy birthday from all of us. I'll talk to her today. She's traveling. She on the road. She's like, yeah, I'm over here. I'm on vacation. I was like, all right, you're traveling, doing your thing. She retired a while back. So shout out to Mom. If you're watching, happy birthday. Even though I talked to you earlier, I'm going to say it to you right now again. All right. Like I said, she's retiring. She's all over the place, traveling, having fun, doing things, being active. That's what everybody should do. So yeah, shout out to you, mom, if you're watching. All right, now I ain't gonna tell you how old she is. She's 25 years old. How about that? She's 25 years old. Some of you guys have seen the picture, like she looks like my younger sister. So, but I ain't gonna tell you how old she is. For all you guys gotta know, she's 25 years old, and we just leave it at that. All right. So yeah, there we go. We got birthday moms in the chats. All right, there we go. The carrot cake for the mama. Yeah. Now she be the one making the carrot cake for sure. She be the one making the carrot cake. All right. But yeah, we got a whole lot going on. There's a whole lot happening all over the internets, all over social media, everywhere. Mainstream media is going crazy. Mainstream media is lying as usual. We're going to get into all those things. Shaquille Oatmeal says, if you're 40, she ain't 25. Hey, look, man, don't be asking all these questions. Don't be doing no math in your head. Don't be trying to figure it out like, oh, you're 40. She's 25. I'm 40, she's 25. Just leave it at that. All right. But we got a whole lot going on. Shout out to you guys again, the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. And where are we going to start? Oh, of course, with the sponsors first. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the box, or just type in patriotpost.us in the browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, shout out to my merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and I have articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, I got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the politically agnostic, from the local, national, international, whatever you want, I got it. As long as it's legal, it's going to be right there on the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact. There you can find my email address, my SNIML address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X. Shout out to whoever left that comment on my TikTok. Oh, I'm on TikTok as well, if you guys didn't know. I'm on TikTok trying to take that over because, listen, I resisted TikTok with all my heart, with all my might. I resisted it. But you got people over there that are completely, I'm talking about mouth breathers at best. Mouth breathers at best. All right. They struggle to mouth breathe over there. They're not very intelligent when it comes to political commentary. There's some guys over there that do very well. Shout out to my man, Craig Long. He does great work. Brandon Tatum and a lot of other guys on TikTok. But I'm seeing a bunch of morons over there just giving their opinion. So I need to come on there and just give the reality, to give the facts, and to give the actual information about what's going on. All right. So that's what's happening. AnthonyBLogan.com, ablmerch.com, patriotpost.us, all that will be in the description. Oh, and also, like I always say, if you're ever wondering if you're conversing with me on the interwebs or not, just double check the method of communication. If the email says, I'm a Nigerian scammer 007 at outlook.com, or I live in Eastern Europe and I'm trying to buy my way to America at gmail.com, that's probably not me, okay? If it sounds like this, it's probably not me. If it sounds like this, it's probably not me. So please, please, please be aware. Don't get caught up in none of these games that these scammers play, because scamming is at an all-time high. Oh, the scamming is crazy. I done already told y'all, I done got scammed in a restaurant before. Okay, they're taking your card to go pay the tab, and you check on your credit a week later, and you got a charge from PetSmart. Who spent $500 at PetSmart? What you buy? A bearded dragon? Like, what's going on? Did you buy a bearded dragon, a tank, and some crickets? Like, we trying to furnish our house? Or no, that's an apartment. You're trying to furnish your apartment with pets with my stolen credit card information? That's crazy. So again, it can happen to you in real life. It can also happen to you on the interwebs, which is real life, of course, because if you get robbed on the interwebs, you get robbed in real life. But anyway, shout out to all you guys. I appreciate it. We got a whole lot going on. There's a whole lot happening. Oh, and I'm seeing a lot of questions. Where's BLM? There's a lot we got to get into. Okay, we're going to get into Chicago. We will. Hey, Les, it wasn't me, Les. I promise. It wasn't me. But we're going to get into Chicago. We're going to get into a lot. All right. Now, first things first, I want to start off with this. This is, I guess this is a parody account, Conservative Mama parody account on the Twitters. This is her impersonating Tim Waltz, who is one of the cringiest characters I've ever seen in my entire life. If cringe was a person, it'd be Tim Waltz and Kamala. I don't know who had the bright idea to combine the cringe twins, the cringe couple, the cringe collective. Who had that bright idea? Like when Trump picked Mike Pence, it was a balance, okay? Mike Pence at that time was the more cool, calm, collected, the straight man to the comedian. That's a good combination. You got two comedians, two big alpha energies. It ain't going to work. Like if you got goofy person and goofy person, where's the regular person? You can have a goofy person as a vice president, perhaps, but the president needs to be a more stoic and center and true leader. It can't be two goofballs on the same ticket. That ain't really going to get it done. Okay, you have leaders and forward-thinking people and normies, people that normies can relate to versus couple of goofy people. It's not a good combination. It's not a good look. Now, here's the parody. This is, again, Conservative Mama, and she is impersonating Wuhan Waltz. That's right, Wuhan Waltz, China Waltz, Tiananmen Square Waltz.
Well, hi there. I'm Tim Waltz, and I'm just like you. I'm your average salt-of-the-earth Midwesterner. I carry a wrench in one hand and a mallet in the other. I also like to wear camo and flannel, just like you. And just like you, I think that children should be taken away from their parents if their parents object to them transitioning.
Whoa. Now, shout out to these tools, the random, the rubber mallet and the basic wrench. Hilarious.
I'm just like you. And when I'm not holding a mallet and a wrench in my hand, I'm holding ketchup. Because just like you, I love ketchup. And just like you, I think we should put tampons in boys' bathrooms. You never know when that time of the month can sneak up on you. And it sneaks up on boys as well. As you can see, I'm a dog owner. Just like you. Here, boy. I love him so much. And just like you, I've been to communist China over 30 times. I love communist China so much that I honeymoon there with my wife. I love communist China. I'm just like you. Oh, look at my hands. I've got grease on them because I've been working with my hands. Just like you. Hey, neighbor! Oh! And just like you, I say hey to my neighbors as well. I'm a gun owner, just like you. That's why I proposed an assault weapons ban in my state.
Right.
What is an assault weapon?
Who knows? What isn't like, okay, anybody, if there's anyone in the chat, hear me well. If there's anyone in the chat who can tell me what an assault weapon is and how it's different from a non-assault weapon, like, okay, I got an example. An assault rifle versus a regular rifle. What's the difference? Please tell me. I'd love to know. I would love to know.
That's for me to know and for you to never know. And I, too, am just like you because I have a wife that wanted to leave the windows open in 2020 so she could smell the smell of the burning tires as Minneapolis burned.
Like, who would want to do that? Listen, if you have a riot happening outside your home and there's stuff on fire, do you really want to smell that? Is that what you want to smell? Listen, when I'm riding down the street and I got my windows open in my vehicle and I can smell a fire in the distance, I really don't want to smell that. I kind of, when I roll my windows up, I kind of want to escape that smell. I was like, okay, it kind of stinks. You know, it might have been a skunk that sprayed. It might have been a fire in the distance. I really don't want to smell that. Why would she want to just inhale all that? I think she was just lying, of course.
Just like you. I'm just like, get over here! That's my dog again. I love him so much.
All right. So shout out to her, conservative mama, for that particular skit. That's right on it. Now, you know what I want to do right now? I want to show you how Tim Walz and his wife actually sound. That's what I want to do. I'm gonna show you guys that right now, because that little that skit wasn't too far off. Not in the least bit. That was pretty much right on it. Okay. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this particular thing right here was very cringe. I mean, calling it cringe might be an understatement, especially Tim Walz, because Tim Walz is already making gaffes. Listen, how are you nowhere near office, but you already making gaffes? Like, what's really, really going on? I don't know. But let's get to your man, Tim Walz. And this is probably one of the best Trump ads you're going to see. I don't know if Trump actually made this an ad, but if he didn't, he should. Check it out.
We can't afford 4 more years of this.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
But one more time. Now, this is a real part of his speech. I don't know what he was trying to say. Maybe y'all can give me some context about what he was trying to say. Or maybe he said what he wanted to say. He's reading from a teleprompter. You see it right here in the left-hand corner? You see where my cursor is? Right above my head? Right there. The teleprompter is right there, and he's looking at it. There's another one right here to the right. Did he read that off the screen? We can't afford 4 more years of this. 4 more years of what? President Biden and Kamala Harris's administration? Trump's not been in office since January 21. We're now in September of 24. 4 more years of what?
We can't afford 4 more years of this.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the man. And then somebody asked, does he not own a tie? I guess not. I guess it's part of his down-home football coach look, right? You got to look real hokey. So I guess being hokey and being relatable is when you don't wear a tie. I guess that's what that is, but whatever. You definitely should be wearing a tie at these kind of things, for sure. Present yourself well, man. You're trying to become the vice president. I need you to put on the appropriate clothing. That's that John Fetterman disease, man. I don't like that. I don't like that at all, man. It shows lack of respect. Okay, if you're going to wear something like that, that's like you about to go to a dinner function with your work colleagues, not when you're trying to become the vice president. But anyway, I digress. Let's keep on rocking.
Are you ready? Let's hear it loud and clear like we said. Mr. Trump, Mr. Vance, please mind your own business. Oh, that was excellent. Are you ready?
Now, what in the school marm, what in the PTA meeting, what in the assistant principal was going on here? What is this? Now, this is a rally or some kind of, okay, you got a separate repeat behind it. It says for Harris Walz and your reproductive rights, abortion stuff. That's at the bottom right here. So you're at an actual rally. You're at an event. There's a microphone. So I don't believe she's speaking to an audience of school children like in the classroom. She's speaking to adults here. But listen to this, though. This is her message. This is, again, Tim Walz's wife speaking to a crowd of what I would assume to be adults. If I'm getting spoken to like that, I'm like, excuse me? You're talking to me right now? I'm a full-grown man. Ma'am, I'm a full-grown man. I don't need to be talked like I'm an infant. Okay, I'm not an infant. I'm not in the goo-goo gaga stage. I'm a full-grown male. I don't need to be talked to this way. But check it out one more time.
Are you ready? Let's hear it loud and clear like we said. Mr. Trump, Mr. Vance, please mind your own business. Oh, that was excellent.
Man, listen, I'll tell you what. If you're having a hard time figuring out who you're going to vote for, I mean, does this convince you? Hey, if you're undecided, did that help you decide in favor of Kamala and Tampon Tim? Because if I was in the undecided boat, that wouldn't do it for me right there. All right, that would, I'll get up and leave. Exactly, Vanessa. I would get up and leave. It's like, you know what? All right, I've heard enough. I think I'm good. I am not 2 years old. I am 40 years old. But anyway, shout out to her. Now, okay, I want to show this because there's a whole lot of talking going on. All right, hold up. All right, check this out. This is Outer Banks yet again, another house that fell. And I guess the one beside it might fall too because it's in the same boat. Look at how far it's out in the water. Look how far, like, it's basically in the water. Now, the way that they build houses out here, they build them right on the beach. And I've said this before in the live stream, but they built the houses on the beach. And what you have in the Outer Banks, North Carolina, you have barrier islands. The island is so small, it's just big enough for the road. Matter of fact, I know I love maps. Let me show you a map so you can see what I'm talking about a little bit more clearly, a little bit clearer. Okay, let's watch this. Okay, Outer Banks and see. See, they give me a map. Okay, this is perfect, actually. This is perfect. Okay. So let's just kind of zoom out. All right. So what you have right here. Okay, you got East Coast. This is my neck of the woods where I grew up. This is Norfolk, Portsmouth, Chesapeake, Seven Cities, South Side. And then up here you got the North Side, Newport News, Hampton, Pocosin, all that kind of good stuff, right? Over here you got the Eastern Shore. Now, once you go up here, you can get to where Joe Biden likes to be. What's that? Rodanthe? Not Rodanthe. What's the name of that? Is it Rodanthe? I don't know the name of that. I think Rodanthe is North Carolina. Whatever that beach is, he likes to go to in the Outer Banks. I think it's over here. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, Rehoboth, not Rodanthe, Rehoboth. That's where Joe Biden goes right there, Rehoboth Beach on the Eastern Shore. But anyway, let's go down. Look at how small these islands are. This is the Outer Banks. Okay, now what happens is this strip of island, this island is so small, it's only enough room for just a neighborhood road and some houses. That's it. That's how big this island is. That's all that they have room for. Okay, look, see how small that is? It's just a road, like a main road, a neighborhood road in front of the houses and the beach. That's it. And that's kind of the way the whole thing is. So why would you build a house right there? Why would you build a house right there? It doesn't make any sense. You're going to be exposed to the hurricanes. You're going to be exposed to any kind of waves, elements, anything from the water. You're out there. And then don't come down here. It's even worse. Okay, look at this. One road and a neighborhood road. That's it. Okay. Now, somebody said I pronounced it wrong. What? Rodanthe, Rehoboth. What am I pronouncing wrong? Pocosin, Rodanthe, Rehoboth. Let me know what I said wrong and give me the proper pronunciation. All right. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful area, and they got wild horses out there too. That might be on Rodanthe, the wild horses. It's a beautiful area, but you don't want to live there because it's dangerous. Because if one hurricane, your house is gone. One storm, your house is gone. Now, let's go back to what I was showing you. This is the result because they built them houses right there in the water, in the middle of the water. Any kind of surf that comes up, high tide or whatever, you might have this happen to your house. Check it out.
Holy shit. All right, one more of those. She's done. She's going.
Now, look, first of all, no, there was not a person out there. Like right there, it's like a little post because some of you guys are saying, oh, did somebody die out there? That right there in the center is like a post. I guess they were trying to do something right there that didn't work out. And you can see that the house has been messed up for a while. They probably put it on stilts because they realized, okay, the beach is eroding. But the beach always erodes right there. They put a bunch of sand in there. They import sand. They try to fortify the islands, but these islands are not meant to be lived on. You see how thin it was. It's just enough room for houses and the road, and that's it. Okay, Rehoboth. I'm gonna call it Rehoboth. How about that? Okay, I'm gonna call it Rodanthe. They got the horses. That's right. I'm right about that. Yeah, they got the horses, the wild horses. But yeah, shout out to Rehoboth, whatever. Shout out to where Joe Biden is spending his presidency rather than actually being the president. And who's the president right now? You know it ain't Kamala because she bought dumb as a box of rocks. So maybe it's Jill. Maybe they got Jill as the president and the caretaker. That's crazy. I would like for the president that we elect to be the president rather than whoever they want to put in there. And I said the same thing for the Democrats. I would like whoever I elect to be the nominee rather than whoever they want to put in there. But hey, that's on your side. If you're a Democrat, you got to do with that. Okay, you've got to do with it. But the narrative behind the houses falling into the water, oh, it's climate change, ABL, the water is encroaching. Stop. Maybe you shouldn't build a house in the middle of the ocean on this little sandbar. Maybe you shouldn't build it right there. Common sense says even if you can build it, it's not going to last very long. Okay, it's not going to last very long. Matter of fact, hold on, I'm going to show you some more because I know I love maps. I'm going to show you where Dad used to live at. He had a house on Willoughby Spit in Norfolk. And that was kind of the same way. He had to move because you're exposed to the elements. And Willoughby Spit was created by a hurricane. I think it might have been in the early 1900s. So obviously, you know, you can have some things happen. So look, check it out. All right, here's Norfolk. Like, here's NOB, the base, naval base. Shout out to the military. Shout out to the Navy people. NOB's right there. And right here you got the HRBT, Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel. And right here you have Willoughby Spit. You see this little hook right here? That was created by a hurricane. Now, it's very nice. It's private beaches and all that kind of stuff. But look at where you are. You're exposed completely to the elements. Atlantic Ocean, Chesapeake Bay, all of that is right there. Okay, it's right there. You're pretty much out here. It's like being on top of the bridge when a hurricane comes in. That's the equivalent of it when you're right here on this little strip of land. It's just not safe. It's just not safe. That's one thing I like about not being in Virginia is I'm not exposed to the hurricanes and the weather, even though I lived inland. But yeah, to all the people that's fantasizing about going to Rodanthe and living in OBX, you can stay out there, have a little vacation, get an Airbnb, whatever they got out there, but please don't buy a house because you're going to be mad. Unless you're Bill Gates, and it doesn't really matter. Unless you're Bill Gates, you could just burn $1 million or however much it's going to cost for you to build a home out there, 500,000, $1 million, whatever. Unless you could just burn that, I don't advise you do it. Anyway, let's keep on rocking. Did you guys see this? Haley Williams. This person is from the band called Paramore. Now, a lot of you guys are asking me, hey, who is that? Listen, a lot of what I show y'all, I don't know a lot about them. I know about the story, and I read the story and see what goes on, but I don't always know about the individual person, if it's a celebrity or something like this. Now, this person is from the band called Paramore. Now, I feel the same way about Paramore that I feel about Taylor Swift. If you put a gun in my head and say, hey, ABL, give me 5 Paramore songs right now, I say, man, go ahead and pull that. Send me the glory because I'm not going to be able to help you out. Taylor Swift, same way. All I know is Shake It Off, and that's it. Anything beyond that, I'm lost. I'm deer in the, I'm Kamala Harris. We're not going to say deer in the headlights anymore. We're going to say Kamala Harris. Okay, how crazy she looks when she's asked a simple question. Hey, Kamala, the economy, how you going to fix it? Deer in the headlights. Anyway, so this moment went viral when she was at a music festival and stopping the performance to give a speech about Project 2025, which is the biggest crock of BS in the world. Because first of all, when you ask somebody, hey, why do you not like Project 2025? What's your beef? They're not going to have an answer. Are they going to do? They might cuss at you. They might kind of dismiss you. They might give you the typical, oh, well, if you got to ask, then you just ignorant. They don't know. All they know is that they've been told that it's a bad thing. It's like being told there's a monster under your bed, but you never seen the monster. You never are presented with the monster, but you're convinced the monster is under the bed. Let's watch this. Then we're going to get into the reality. Yes, the band is called Paramore.
Project 2025 is Donald Trump's playbook for controlling and punishing women, poor people, people of color, and the LGBTQ plus community. It is time for all Americans to band together and to finally defeat the Trump agenda. And the only way to do that is by confronting him at the polls. Do you want to live in a dictatorship? Well, show up and vote! Yeah!
So cringe. Show up and vote. Yeah. So cringe. Oh my goodness. But of course she was reading. Of course. All right. So look at my man right here with the sheet of paper.
Project 2025.
A whole sheet of paper. Like, I'm gonna just turn this down. Like, you can almost see what the words are. Okay, that's Hollywood for you. Smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors. Now, my question is this: who gave her the script, and did she get paid? That's what I want to know, because there's a bunch of money. People always talk about, oh, you conservative guys, you guys always taking money, all this, that, and the third. That's what they say, right? We're always trying to get, we're grifters, right? You've not seen the grifter yet. You've not seen the grifter till you've seen black lesbian Marxists. I mean, big large mansions. I mean, big long money. You've not seen the grifter yet until you straight up take $10 million, $100 million and just do whatever you want. Didn't Van Jones get broken off like $100 million by Jeff Bezos? Hold on. Was it 100 million? Yeah, $100 million. So, I mean, I don't know about y'all. I don't know about any other conservative influencer, but I've never been given $100 million by Jeff Bezos. I'm saying, okay, I've never been approached by the RNC or the DNC to do anything at all, which is kind of dumb, really, because they spend their money on straight propaganda. At least the RNC could invite me out to some of their events, but they dumb. They don't embrace the influencers, and the Democrats corrupt them. So can we get a center ground there? I don't know. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, that was Haley Williams from Paramore. Now, again, I don't know all these groups. I don't know a lot about Taylor Swift. I'll put it to you this way. I know as much about Taylor Swift that I know about Paramore. But yeah, I got to report on the story. That's all. So yeah, shout out to her. And oh, here is a clip from CNN where they say that Project 2025 has zero to do with Trump. CNN says this. Okay, check it out. All right, let's go ahead and get this up on the screen and let's get it rocking.
To this claim from Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester of Delaware about Project 2025 and former President Trump.
He has, with his friends, said the quiet parts out loud, but not only said them out loud, he wrote a book about it. What's it called? Project 2025.
That is false. Trump did not write Project 2025. The project's big policy document, published by the Heritage Foundation think tank, lists dozens of people as authors, editors, contributors. Donald Trump is not among them. Listen to this.
So, I mean, I don't understand. So I don't get it. Even CNN. Now, listen, I've never known CNN to be a pro-Trump network. Have you? Sometimes they say things that make sense. But pro-Trump network, I don't think so. So what's going on? What's really happening? All right, it's a mess. Work Life 316 says most of you don't know where Delaware is. Oh, really? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm from Virginia, and Delaware is a neighboring state, but I don't know where it is. Okay, I have no clue. Okay, Eastern Shore. You got Eastern Shore. Maryland, Eastern Shore, Virginia, and then you got Delaware. It's all kind of on the same little peninsula. Okay. At the very top of the peninsula, you got Wilmington, Delaware, which is part of the Philadelphia metro area. A lot of your Philly guys go to Delaware when they're trying to get away from the city, when they're trying to like escape the city life. They try to go to Delaware. That's their next thing. Yeah, it's not that difficult to know where Delaware is. It wasn't that the first state, and also that's where everybody goes when they get LLC, all this and that, and the third. They want to kind of, yeah. Come on, man. That's basic. That's basic third grade geography. That's like learning your states and all that jazz. The 13 colonies. We're talking about basic education. Okay, now let's check this out. Somebody's triggered in the chat, and that's fine. But maybe this person might be a tad bit more triggered than they are. All right, let's check it out. And here we go.
Elon Musk is such a two-faced turncoat traitor because he was a climate champion and he sold himself out for a buck and some power. Don't follow that guy. That guy doesn't even have his original accent anymore. Don't follow him. Don't listen to him. We're the ones who we have to believe in. We're the ones who we're waiting for, and we are the ones that have to move forward together. Elon Musk is
all right. So they don't like Elon. They really upset with Elon. There's a big movement to try to sell Teslas because people, a lot of your Californians especially, shout out to the Californians, shout out to the common sense Californians. Some of your neighbors are ridiculous, but some of these ridiculous Californians, they're trying to sell their Teslas because they don't like Elon. Okay, they're upset with Elon. Personally, I couldn't really care less about who manufactured the equipment I use. If I need to use it, I'm gonna use it. If all of a sudden one day, the CEO of Milwaukee Tools gets locked up, I'm not handing my drill in for free. I'm gonna keep the drill and the Milwaukee pack outs, and I'm gonna keep everything. I'm gonna keep my whole set. Ryobi, same thing. Listen. If the guy who is behind Ryobi Tools gets locked up, oh well, man. Look, I got a miter saw, I got drills, oscillating tool. I'm not giving none of that up. It is what it is, man. Let that dude do his time in prison, and I'm gonna keep my hand drill. I'm just gonna do that. But anyway, shout out to Elon and shout out to my man over there for getting upset. And shout out to everybody for trying to sell their vehicle because they don't like Elon Musk. That's crazy. Why would you do that? You can drive a Tesla without being an Elon fan, but you know what's probably going on is they're probably being bullied by their friends, talking about why do you still drive that? Elon's a dictator. That is so crazy. I don't understand. It's weird. All right, let's check this out. Okay, we got somebody crying about Oprah. I don't know what's going on here. But I saw this and I was like, you know what? I want to see what's happening. I want to see how Americans are feeling. Let's check it out.
Oprah and Kamala have me crying. It's like the nostalgia of Oprah in the 90s after high school, but like with the hope of today with Kamala, and there's a Swiftie right behind him. I love it so much.
Ma'am. I don't even really want to say nothing about that, man. Like, you got to get it together. Like, something, I don't know what you're going through in your life, but I don't think it's about politics. I think it's something deeper. So hopefully you're okay. Hopefully you are okay, because that right there is something else. You're crying about that. Hopefully you don't go vote, man, please. If you have mental health challenges, I suggest you just take care of that and, you know, leave the vote in the people that, you know, kind of got it together a little bit, you know? That's what I would say. But anyway, I digress. Now, shout out to everybody over in Japan. Okay, shout out to Sony PlayStation, Nintendo. What else is Japanese? Shout out to anime. Shout out to all the Japanese entertainment. Shout out to Shinzo Abe, R.I.P. Shinzo Abe. Shout out to the Lotus festivals, whatever they got. Yeah, the cherry blossoms, all of that. Now, here we go. There's a Trump rally in Japan. Or this could be Japanese people in America. Let's check it out. that's most certainly Japan or China. So yeah, shout out to them. Okay, that's what I like to see. I love to see that. You got the whole world supports Trump. Now listen, where are the international Kamala Harris rallies? What, like somewhere in Western Europe where they're having a drag queen story time or something like this? Okay, it'd be some big 6 foot dude, some big 6'5" dude with a hairy chest and a wedding dress on. That might be where you find the Kamala Harris rally at overseas, if you find one at all. If you find one at all, you find it over there during that time. But in civilized nations with good people like Japan, they're going to support Trump. They will support Trump. So yeah, shout out Shinzo Abe, RIP. Shout out to Japanese people. Shout out to the cherry blossoms. Shout out to the Tory Gates. All that good stuff over there. Okay. What I said, it could be China. Nah, that's definitely, it's South Korea. I don't know. Somewhere over there. Shout out to everybody over there who supports Trump and supports freedom for the United States of America. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okie dokie. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. And where are we at here? Oh, so the Nelk boys, I don't know if you know what they are. I think they did a stream with Trump. They're really popular, big streamers, if I'm not mistaken. They set up a Trump house in San Francisco. Okay. Now, I don't think that it's going to go very well over there. Yeah, I don't think so. Let's check it out. Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Are you serious?
Sir, why are you on their yard? Talking about some like, oh. So if you guys can't see what happened, there's a house with Trump stuff all on it in San Francisco. Now listen, if I'm in San Francisco and I see that, you got to see the trap coming. You understand? You're like a mouse and you see this big piece of cheese right next to a big hole in the door. All right. Maybe you shouldn't go try to get the cheese. It's a trap. You see all of this in San Francisco and you see this big sign next to a ladder. Sir, you got to know that it's a trap. So you got this random guy. He's going to get the sign from the yard and he gets water dumped on him. Now, was that staged? Was this a fake thing? At this point, I can't tell, but I know for 100% certain that this could have happened if it was not a real thing.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man, that right there seems funny. I want to do that in real life. Like I want to go do that. That seems like a whole lot of fun. But yeah, Trump 24 in San Fran, that might not go very well. You go to like a lot of your affluent areas. Like if you go to an affluent area inside of a city, they're going to have a bunch of BLM and all kind of stuff like that. I was in Atlanta. I was in Buckhead. I'm going through the nice white area. They got Black Lives Matter. All genders are welcome. They got all of that kind of stuff going on in Atlanta. Real talk. But that kind of thing does not happen in the hood. That's not a hood thing. That's a rich white liberal thing. They get a lot of guilt in their heart because of what's happening around them. Okay, they might drive out a MARTA and see some dude screaming at himself. Oh, he's a black man. He's in distress. Black Lives Matter. I'm gonna put a sign in front of my yard. That's how they do. Like it's the same reason why they're trying to hype this man up that deleted that lady. And please pardon my language for saying deleted. I'm just trying to not have YouTube get on my hind parts, but that whole thing was crazy. All right, hold on. Let's get to that actually. What's this guy's name? Marcellus Williams. Now listen, anybody in the comments, anybody in the chat, Can you give me a reason why Marcellus Williams shouldn't have been deleted? Maybe you don't like the death penalty. That's fine. But that's not a reason why you shouldn't have been deleted. Maybe you think you should have got life with no parole. Maybe. But to save his life, to not have him get deleted, for me, I think the right thing was done. Listen, let's talk about Mr. Williams right quick. If you guys did not see my video. Now, this guy, you may have seen him a lot on social media lately. Maybe your 15-year-old daughter came to you talking about, mommy, this guy, they're gonna delete him because and he's innocent. Where'd you find that out? Oh, on TikTok. I saw a video on TikTok and I believed it because I believe whatever I see on TikTok. Okay, maybe your friend saw it on Facebook if they're a little bit older. Hey, you know what? I saw this on Facebook. This guy's innocent. Okay, and since I saw it on Facebook, it must be true. I saw it on TikTok. I saw it on Facebook. I believe it. And what do I always tell y'all? Don't believe anything. Do your own research. Don't believe me. Don't believe the television, social media, nothing. Do your own research. Now, this guy, they said who said he was innocent? Who said this guy was innocent? Nobody. So look, this guy committed a heinous crime in 1998, 26 years ago. What he was convicted of was a burglary that became a murder. He broke into a woman's house in August 1998 for a daytime burglary. He has a track record of doing this exact same thing. Breaking and entering, stealing, robbing. That was his career as a criminal. That's what he did in that same area. He did it here. And daytime robbery, of course, y'all know about how criminals work. If they go in the daytime, they're not trying to actually hurt you. They want to just steal. What happened was she was home. He goes in the house. He hears water running. She's in the shower. He doesn't go attack her in the shower. He just goes in the downstairs area to raid through her kitchen or whatever to find valuables. Now, she unfortunately comes out and is trying to see if anybody's in the house. He gets a kitchen knife from her kitchen, stabs her 43 times, kills her, and he robs her. He takes her husband's laptop. The husband wasn't there at the time. He takes her husband's laptop. He takes other items, including a calculator and a ruler. Now, the reason why the calculator and ruler is important is because, first of all, it's her items from her house. Second of all, these items were found in his car. Third, they were branded with her workplace, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. She was an employee of the newspaper. She was a reporter of the newspaper. All of that was found in his car. Okay. The laptop he sold to somebody, and the person he sold the laptop to testified in court that he sold it to them. You had 22 witnesses in total. 22 witnesses in total testified against this man. His girlfriend testified and said that when she saw him that day, he was bloody and all kind of stuff. All the evidence in the world pointed to him. His fingerprint was in her blood. If they're trying to say, oh, the DNA don't match. Listen, man. All right. How did he get her laptop? How did he get her work supplies? Why did his girlfriend see him bloody that day? And when he was convicted on this, he was already in prison serving a 20-year sentence robbing a donut shop. He had a lengthy track record aside from the donut shop robbery and aside from the killing and robbery of Alicia Gale. So my question is, who thinks this guy's innocent? And if you have any evidence, please point to it. Okay, now this guy is out there protesting in favor of the guy before he got deleted. Because remember, it was a death penalty case. And what they were trying to do was get the death penalty, I guess, overturned or get granted clemency. The family reportedly of the victim, the family said they did not want him to get executed, but they did not say they wanted him to go free. They said life with no parole. So there's issues going on. Some are against the death penalty and some think that he was innocent. I think that he was guilty, and I say set him on fire, light him up, pull the switch. Guys like that, if you have irrefutable evidence that they did it, go ahead and just do them right there. Go ahead and do them right there, rather than 26 plus years of our tax dollars going to feed this person. Do them right there and get it over with. If you have irrefutable evidence, I'm talking about he got the murder weapon in his hand. You caught him in the act. There's videotape, all of that. That's what I would say. But anyway, let's hear from my man right here about the protest. Rex Rocker, listen to me. Rex Rocker says, why a ruler and a calculator? Planted evidence, think. Okay, let's just take away the ruler and the calculator. The laptop was stolen and sold, and a witness said that he sold it to him. So answer that. Answer that. Like there's so much evidence. It's a mountain of evidence. Come on, man. Like, let's stop.
And present on 3092 and this hour.
All right, so we got some signs right here. My old man says, why do we delete people who delete people to show that deleting is wrong? It's not even about that. It's about you got to have crime and punishment. Hey, man, eye for an eye at a certain point. And then somebody says, are you willing to be the innocent person executed? So these are just people that have their own political things. Her sign said, we remember the victim, we remember the victims, but not with more killing. So they're just against death penalty. Really, that's the main thing. Missouri stopped the executions, repeal the death penalty, blah, 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 blah. Tonight, our state is executing an innocent man. So some think he's innocent. Some say they just don't want the death penalty to be the thing. That's all.
Possibility of being executed within the next hour. Sometime within the next hour or so. Marcellus Williams is an innocent man. He should not be on death row. He should not be in prison. The evidence is proven that he is guilty. What is wrong with these people who are running this country and taking them things to take it legally or
That's a very diverse group of people out there for Marcellus Williams. Very diverse group. Very, very diverse group right there. These be the ladies that will cuss you out in the food line, over the smallest of things. That's them right there in a natural habitat trying to free a dangerous person that would love nothing more than to come and hurt one of them. All of them out there are like sheep trying to get a wolf free from the penitentiary. That's all that they are. They'll be the main victims that get deleted by this man if he's let out. Now, remember Innocence Project. I was trying to think about the story that I remember that was from the Innocence Project. Remember Sheldon Williams? Remember that guy? If you guys don't remember, Johnson, Sheldon Johnson, not Sheldon Williams. Remember this guy? Hold on, let's get some video and audio if possible.
Sheldon Johnson, he is a criminal justice activist, and he boasted about turning his life around after getting out of prison as recently as going on shows like the Joe Rogan podcast. Now tonight, he is back in handcuffs and he's facing murder charges. News 4's Ida Siegel is in Highbridge, where the crime scene investigators are still looking for evidence.
Let's pause for a second. Now, Sheldon Johnson, this guy was on the Joe Rogan podcast. He was freed with the help of the Innocence Project. The same people that are behind this whole thing with the guy in Missouri trying to start execution and they failed because he got deleted. The same people were also behind Sheldon Johnson. Now, this guy gets out, goes on a Joe Rogan podcast. He has this whole big thing. I'm turning my life around. I'm doing all this, that, and the third. And shortly after the Joe Rogan podcast, they found a butchered head in his freezer or in a freezer. It might have been more body parts. It might have been somebody that was cut up and then put in the freezer. So, Innocence Project, what's going on? Maybe some of these guys are not innocent. And when you are trying to go after an obviously guilty person with a long rap sheet, like their whole life has been nothing but criminality, and what they're in prison for, they did it. There's evidence that they did it. When you get that person out and then they go commit more crime, I mean, come on, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I'll play the rest of this right quick so you can see what's happening.
That's 48-year-old Sheldon Johnson being walked off in handcuffs, yelling to reporters that he didn't do what cops say he did.
Well, in this case, they had witnesses that saw him going back and forth to the apartment. They were hearing noises. They saw him in the process of dismembering a body. They saw him do that. Like, they didn't see the body parts necessarily outside, but they saw him going back and forth, getting tools and cleaning supplies.
Murder, manslaughter, and criminal possession of a weapon. It's a shocking set of charges for a man most recently known for this.
I had a wife, I had family still, my son was growing up. He was hearing stories about my so-called notoriety.
That's Johnson appearing on the popular Joe Rogan podcast, talking about his efforts to reform himself and help other kids detach themselves from gang life, a job he's uniquely qualified for after spending 25 years in prison for attempted murder as a high-ranking member of the Bloods.
Prison does two things to you. It brings out the best or it brings out the worst.
But police say this is also him, here on Summit Avenue Tuesday night, carrying cleaning supplies and a full black garbage bag in and out of this building. Police were called to apartment 6G after a neighbor heard gunshots and saw Johnson in and out of the apartment. She told the building super. When police entered the apartment, they found a man's torso and a foot inside a bin.
So you get the idea what's going on. You get the idea. Look, some guys belong in prison. Some guys should not be free. The guy that I showed you earlier, the Muslim, Assalamu alaikum, and they always do that. When they crash out, they go to God. Everybody go to God when they crash out. Everybody want to become a Muslim in jail, Nation of Islam, Allah, all this, that, and the third. All right, cool. But what about your violent past? What about the crime you did? Like, let's focus on that. Don't try to say, I'm religious now and I want to be free. All right, but can your victim's family be free from what you did? I think not. I think not. And some people need to be in prison because they cannot operate in society properly. They can't do it. Now, speaking about guys that should be locked up, remember our guy from New York City, the COVID czar or the COVID guy, what's his name? Jay Varma, Dr. Jay Varma, the guy who convinced New York City mayor, was it Eric Adams or it might have been de Blasio, convinced the then New York City mayor to not allow Kyrie Irving to play basketball, to require New York City employees to get vaccinated or they couldn't work. That guy who bragged about doing that on tape, well, there's more. He was also selling the monkeypox vaccine. Now, remember monkeypox. Remember that came out for a while, had a big spark, and then it kind of fell off. And I told you guys the reason why it fell off is because they realized it was a gay STD. That's what it is. They were trying to say, oh, this could be a communicable disease and you got to wear a mask and all this and that. But it's really a gay STD because when the vaccine came out in New York City, they said specifically, you're only at risk if you are a gay male between 30 and 40 or something or 20 and 30, like an average age of 35. Highly active gay males. That's the way it was spreading. And then when it was realized that kids all of a sudden were getting monkeypox and dogs were getting it, and the combination, the only thing they had in common was they lived in the household with gay people. They might have had two dads or something like this. So how did a gay STD go from the adult men to the children and the dog? When that became a story, the virus just went away. But let's hear from your man, Jay Varma, about the whole situation.
Working on a drug for a disease called monkeypox. Remember this big outbreak?
All right, hold on, let's go back.
Working on a drug for a disease called monkeypox. Remember this big outbreak a couple years ago? But it's not going to spread among the general population. It's almost certainly going to stay primarily among gay men. Honestly, in the United States, the risk is very low. It's only primarily transmitted among gay men. It basically got into the sexual networks of gay men, and a lot of gay men have tons and tons of sexual partners, and often don't use condoms, and so as a result, it spreads more.
What's the drug called?
It's called tecovirimat, or TPOXX is the name of it.
Yeah, TPOXX. But listen, if I say that, what he said about the gay men, then I'm being a homophobe, right? Straight from the horse's mouth. Straight from him. It's a gay disease and it's spread among them. And if you're a regular normie, you're not really at risk.
Tecovirimat, or TPOXX is the name of it. We also need to keep up the people's belief that the drug works, so that's why spinning it in the media is helpful. So we want the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, to approve our drugs specifically for monkeypox, and right now it's only considered experimental, and they won't approve it based on this study. You can spin them so that people won't dump the stock, thinking that the company's worthless. World Health Organization did an announcement about a public health emergency. It's all over the news and stuff. They could give us something called an emergency authorization. This is what they did during COVID.
Did you hear that? So look, we got to spin the news. We got to spin the media to get this whole thing approved. So what does WHO do? They say, oh, it's a global emergency. So let's go ahead and get an emergency use authorization, the EUA. Same thing they did with COVID. Then they're going to do the monkeypox as well. So they're trying to manipulate things to get what they want rather than just, submitting it for approval and letting that process go the right way. They want to kind of backdoor it, you see? So you have all this government red tape that the people in the government want to wiggle around. So when we say things like, hey, why do we need all these government agencies? It's because it is. It's corrupt and they try to find a way around it anyway. So why do we need it? What's the purpose? There's no reason to have these things other than to have people just get paid from our taxpayer dollars.
Like the vaccines and everything. They actually had to submit the data, but they took the preliminary data. They didn't wait till the data was followed out for 3 or 6 months because it was an emergency. Because basically what we're trying to get the media to say is, oh, the drug didn't work because it was designed the wrong way. So they're going to do another study and it'll probably work. And in the meantime, people should prescribe it for that reason as an emergency drug. That's what we want the story to be.
Crazy. So they're spinning stories, making things fit their own particular narrative. That's what that every day, all day long, every day. So we got to understand that a lot of what they tell us is just fake. And I say it. Don't believe anything you see on TV. Please do your own research. Don't believe anything. Now, we got a lot more to get into. We're going to get into actually quite a bit. Where are we at right here? Okay. Matter of fact, let's do this. Remember my man from Charleroi, Pennsylvania, talking about the Haitian migrants? Now, listen, I'm going to play some of this. So they have a town of 4,000 people in Pennsylvania, about 30 miles south of Pittsburgh, close to the West Virginia border. They are having an influx of these Haitian migrants coming into the town, probably to work really low paid jobs, whatever. Now, this man spoke a lot and said some really important and powerful things. I think this is the same guy that we're going to see at the Trump rally in a second. So let me just play a little bit of this and we get to the next clip.
Yeah, this used to be just a nice blue-collar, middle-of-nowhere town. It was affordable to live in, wasn't a terrible neighborhood. You could raise your family here and live your life, and everybody just pretty much leave you alone. But I don't know if it's going to come back from this. I don't know if we're going to come back from this. At the point now, I think they've just destroyed the town, and they've bought all these properties. Okay, you might be able to buy a house cheap, but what kind of people are you going to get in?
Yeah. So that's what he was saying. I don't want to play the whole thing because we got another video to play of him. But he was very good. He did everything pretty well. Now, I think this is him right here. He's at a Trump rally. I'm not sure where this is. Let me see where this is. I'm not sure, but let's check it out.
My name's Ernie. I'm here as a representative resident of the small town of Charleroi, PA, which you may have heard on the news here recently. Over half of our town is now filled with Haitian immigrants and illegal immigrants brought into taking our jobs That there is a nation-killing practice, which is brought in by the federal government and specifically the Biden-Harris administration. And I'm here with a dire warning to every American. This isn't going to stop unless we can take our country back. Under the Biden-Harris administration, 9.9 million immigrants have made it across the border since they have taken office. There is no pushback from the administration to close or seal the border, which is now affecting small-town America in my hometown of Charleroi, PA. And the biggest thing, and it's tattooed right here on my arm, we the people run this country. And we have to remember and tell the Democrats and Kamala Harris that we run this country and take it back and make America great again. Thank you.
Very well said. Shout out to him. Now, we got breaking news. We have breaking news. Eric Adams, New York City Mayor Eric Adams, indicted by the feds. Eric Adams, this is breaking news right now. Right now. Okay, let's check this out. This was published just 7 minutes ago, New York Post. Okay. New York City Mayor Eric Adams indicted by a grand jury in historic federal probe. Okay. Now, this has been going on for a while. They've been talking about his people around him, the team or whatever. There's been a big probe. And now Eric Adams has been indicted. Let's read some of this, shall we? Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted by a grand jury on charges connected to a federal probe that is shaking his administration. The historic indictment is expected to be unsealed Thursday by U.S. Attorney Damian Williams. Now, Damian Williams, let's pause right here. Damian Williams just read the indictment on Puff Daddy with the 1,000 bottles baby oil. That was him that read that indictment. So here he is again. So we're dealing with the feds. Adams will surrender to authorities early next week. Now, details about the exact accusations remained unclear, but are believed to be connected to an alleged kickback scheme involving the Turkish government illegally funneling money into his mayoral campaign. It's also uncertain how the indictment is related to the sweeping set of September 4th raids that targeted several high-profile Adams administration officials, which sent City Hall into weeks-long tailspin as news reports emerged of investigations focused on an alleged corruption by the mayor's inner circle. Again, Eric Adams indicted by the feds. He will turn himself in early next week. All right. So we'll see. Do y'all think Eric Adams will go to the penitentiary to make big rocks to little? I think so. If you're going to indict the mayor of New York City in the federal probe, it's over. Listen, we've been covering the story of the super mayor out there in Dalton, Illinois, Tiffany Henyard. She's like obviously corrupt, obviously stealing, and she hadn't been locked up. She hadn't been formally indicted yet. So if they get in Eric Adams, big city mayor, and you got foreign governments involved, I think it's over. I think it's over. I don't really see how he gets out of this. I think he's going to do some time. Now, is it going to be a long time? I don't know. But if the feds are involved and they got you and you got to get arrested, you got to turn yourself in. Now it's a matter of how many years am I going to get? Let me see if I can find anything in this article. So Wednesday morning, word is spread that a senior City Hall official soon will be indicted, sending staff into a panic throughout the day. Let me see. The indictments unveiling will come out to federal prosecutors recently demanded City Hall cough up all communication between the Adams administration, et cetera, et cetera. So it says sprawling record requests then came in a July batch of subpoenas seeking details on all interactions between admin officials in Israel, China, Qatar, South Korea, and Uzbekistan. All right. And you see the cover of this paper right here. Look at this. Mayor Adams' chief fundraiser raided by FBI over kickback scheme involving Turkish government. Remember that whole thing happened when she got raided, the assistant? Like he was on the plane going to DC talking about the migrant crisis, and then this whole thing happened. Okay. I ain't talking about that. That's SBF. But yeah. Now, what the allegation is that he took money from the Turkish government to his mayoral campaign improperly. That's it. So that's the long and short of that. But I'm sure there's going to be other charges related to that. But that's the big thing that he is accused of doing. So what y'all think? Y'all know Puff Daddy's in the penitentiary with Sam Bankman-Fried. So are they going to put another bunk in there for Eric Adams? Make it be a whole party. Make it be a Diddy party in the penitentiary. Okay. A Diddy party with Puff Daddy, Sam Bankman-Fried, and Eric Adams. Eric Adams and Puff from New York. They can go back and have a good old time like they used to do in the 2000s or whatever. And then SBF would just be in the corner, doing some other kind of fraud, some other kind of scheme while they're having their own little Diddy party. Yeah, it's going to be a freak off in the penitentiary. That's crazy. But yeah, again, if you're just now coming in, Mayor Eric Adams, New York City, has been indicted by the federales, and he will turn himself in early next week. All right. Again, grand jury, they got him, Eric Adams. So we'll see how the whole thing plays out. What do y'all think? Will he go to the penitentiary to make big rocks, little rocks? Is it going to be a short time in the joint? What's going to happen? What is going to happen? All right. Yeah, it's going to be a Diddy party in the penitentiary, man. It's sad to see, but it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, let's keep on going. If you like what you're hearing so far, I know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff that helped me out tremendously. Let's go back to the migrant crisis. This is in Springfield as well. Well, she's out there, and she's going to give her 2 cents about what's happening in the town. The way they frame it in the media, just you white conservatives, you hate black people. It's not about color. We're far beyond color. What's happening here, the great replacement, is not about whites. It's not about blacks. It's about Americans being replaced with foreigners, with people that the Democratic Party, the left, maybe even the Union Party, they want them to come in, work for no money, be the brand new slave class, and be the brand new voter class, and they're going to bring in more people with sheer numbers because they have very high birth rates. Like I was saying before, among white Americans, you have low birth rates, about 1.3, 1.4. You're able to bolster your numbers a little bit with immigration from Europe, and also some of the Hispanics, your light-skinned mestizos are sometimes counted as white. Some of your Middle Easterners are counted as white as well. So you're able to boost yourselves up like that, numbers-wise, population-wise. Now, in the black community, we have a low birth rate as well, 1.8, 1.9, which is below the 2.1 you need in the West to maintain population, to not have loss. You're not growing at that rate, but you're not losing. You're staying steady at 2.1 in the West. We're at about 1.8, 1.9. But on top of that, we have high infant mortality. We have a high murder rate, a high abortion rate, and an overall low life expectancy. So that's going to contribute to us not having a big population. Now, the migrants, they coming in, popping out 4, 5, 10 kids, anchor babies, like back to back, taxing the healthcare system, taxing the food, the food stamp system, taxing the housing, taxing everything. And when I say taxing, I mean you pay for it. You, the citizen, you pay for your replacement. That's what's happening.
One of the situations that I don't see people talking about a whole bunch is driving through Springfield, Ohio. I am terrified to drive my car through Springfield, Ohio. It is a scary place to drive your car through. They do not know what lane to turn from. They do not know any traffic laws. Now, I did go into the DMV a couple days ago, and the workers were talking about there are a lot of them trying to at least figure it out and learn the law and stuff like that. So that's good. That's a good thing. Another thing that I do hate about living here right now is it is dangerous going through your store. I've been, I don't ever hear a lot of women talking about this, but when I do talk to women about this, they do bring it up and they do say the same thing. So I know I'm not the only one, but I've been stalked through stores by Haitian men. It's to the point where I would tell them, like, hey, stop fucking following me. And it's not like, oh, you're just being nervous. They ain't really following you. Yes, bitch, they're following me. If you go to the milk aisle, go to the freaking detailing section, and go to the toy section, and go to the toilet seat aisle, go to the dog food aisle, and they're same ones who are following you around, they're stalking you. They're stalking. So I always tell them, I let them know that I know that they're stalking me. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but anymore, I do not go to the grocery store by myself. If I do go by myself, I'm on the phone with somebody, I'm watching my surroundings, and best believe I have something on me. But so that also sucks. Another thing that I've fell in love with the gym. The gym has been my second home. Here lately, I just can't really stand going into the gym. There's some days where I have to wrap a jacket around my waist to feel comfortable going into.
Oh yeah, forget about it. Forget about it. Yeah, you can't even. You already know if they following you in the Walmart and you want to go to the gym wearing your workout, forget about it. They're gonna be all on you, white on rice.
My gym, it is a unisex gym. There's men and women there, but I've never really felt like I wasn't welcomed in my own gym. I will say that.
Now, Lead Clinton in the comments says she's lying. Now, why would you? What makes you say that? And the thing about it is, her experience is shared by a lot of other people that have the same. They don't know each other. They happen to live in the same area. It's the same experience. This is not uncommon. They can't drive. The Haitians that come over here, a lot of the migrants that come over here can't drive. They're given the ability to have cars and licenses, but they can't drive.
That's one of the things I hate about the biggest thing I do hate about it right now is the gym right now. But you know, they're in there working on themselves, that's good. But when they're in there watching women to the point where they're rubbing their junk and stuff, it's gross. It's giving foul, it's giving nasty, it's giving get the fuck out of my gym.
All right. Okay, a little bit too much cussing, but you get the idea. I ain't gonna play the whole thing. It's kind of a long video, but you get what's going on. It's stalking you in the gym, stalking you in Walmart. They can't drive. I saw one of the people in Springfield. They said that they have very expensive car insurance now because the accident rate in Springfield has tripled because of the migrants who cannot drive. But somehow they got cars and they're given the ability to drive. People, there was one person that got deleted by one of these people in an accident because he couldn't drive. There's a lot of that going on. It's a whole lot of that going on. So yeah, shout out to all you guys, the thirsty guys in the comments. Hey, it's funny because people in the comments are saying that she's lying, but it's guys thirsty in the comment section without even seeing her in person. So that lets me know she's telling the truth. Okay, that lets me know what's going on right there. Now, we got a story about some cats in Bangor, Maine. 16 pet cats disappeared. I'm not saying it was the Haitians that did it, but there are a bunch of Haitian migrants in Bangor. And I don't want to make it be about, you know, attacking Haitian people specifically. It's not even about that. It's about the migrants. Listen, okay, if I come from a place and I know how to behave and not act right, that's good. But if I know all my cousins and them are acting the cold fool, maybe I shouldn't bring them to my new place. All right, so I stay out where I stay. It's a nice subdivision. Everybody's quiet. Everybody's cool. Everybody's nice. It's a great area. Leave your door open. Whatever. Okay, my neighbor's dog wandered into my garage when the garage was open. I put it on our community page. Hey, anybody dog missing? Come get the dog. It's all good. No problems. It's a nice community. Now, when you're bringing in these migrants and they don't really care too much about the neighbors and they're not really understanding how to behave in the first world place, they might go ahead and put the dog on the grill and have a nice dinner. I mean, it sounds barbaric, but where they come from, like, they're not going to just go to the store and get food. They're just getting whatever they can. So they continue the same habits here sometimes. That's the reality. If I know my cousins are going to do that, they can't come to my area. They got to stay over there. They got to stay over there. But let's watch this.
This is the last street that she was seen on.
2 weeks ago, Ann Foster's cat, Frankie Blue Eyes, went out at night as she usually does. But this time, she never came home.
She's so amazing and lovable. It's really a hole in my heart without her.
Frankie is one of at least 16 cats in Bangor's Fairmount neighborhood that have gone missing in the past 2 months.
They just disappeared without a trace.
It's been a month since Matt Morgan's cat Eloise went missing. Morgan says in the time that he's lived in the neighborhood, this influx is unusual.
There was never this kind of spike of this kind of activity. And the animals that disappeared, they either were found, later or it just wasn't at that rate.
None of these cats have been found, making it hard for cat owners to get closure.
It's like you're in grief, but you can't really grieve because you don't know if they're actually gone.
What's on many neighbors' minds is why did this happen? Bangor's animal control officer, Trisha Bruin, who is investigating these incidents, says she believes the cats were killed by wildlife. But she says it's possible some cats ran away and will return or were stolen.
So what do y'all think? What do y'all think happened? Just some random animal out there? What, the chupacabra? Is chupacabra out there deleting the cats? Did the cats all run away? Did the cats come together and have a meeting and say, you know what I want to do? We should run away, create a cat colony somewhere else. Let's go to Canada because they're about to elect Trump again and we're scared of Trump. We're going to go swim to Nova Scotia. We're going to go to Montreal, Ontario, somewhere like this. Okay. Is that what's happening or is it something else? Y'all let me know what you think.
Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife, though, does not believe it's wildlife, as foxes, coyotes, and fishers have always been in the area.
But my question is, where's her collar? Where's her remains if it was an animal?
No remains of any cats have been found, but Foster remains hopeful that she'll get answers.
I'm not going to give up hope on Frankie.
They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the pets.
But I'm hoping she comes home soon. And everybody else's cats, they're amazing. And they're such an important part of the family.
Right now, Bruin says that pet owners should keep their animals inside at night and supervise them during the day to ensure their safety. In Bangor, Katie Delaney, News Center, Maine.
So there we go. That's what's happening out there in Bangor. Bangor, tomato. In Maine, we got 16 cats that just disappeared. A chupacabra ate everything, the collar, whatever, all of that. I think we know what's happening. We know what's happening. Why we got to act like it's not happening? I mean, look, I'm not trying to say everybody that comes from Haiti is going to be eating cats. But obviously there's a problem with some people that do that. It is what it is, man. You just got to kind of address it here. You got to address what's going on. Address the elephant in the room. Okay. Now we have migrants in Fairhope, Alabama. Fairhope, Alabama, a bunch of Haitian migrants. Okay. So you got this small town, 20,000 people, and 1,000 migrants are being dumped in there. Again, this is going to be a lot. And Fairhope, this is a town south of Mobile on the Gulf Coast. Okay, they're about to get hit by that hurricane right now. Hey, if you're in the hurricane's path, be safe. All right, I know it's crazy with the hurricanes. Be safe. Don't get flooded right now. Now, this, again, Fairhope, Alabama, 20,000 residents, 1,000 Haitians are possibly resettling there.
I'm a Baldwin County resident. My mother-in-law was recently killed in a tragic automobile accident in Grand Rapids, Michigan. This was in June 2022. She was not distracted. She was not on her phone. She was driving under the speed limit, seatbelt buckled, several car distances away, most likely with her hands at 10 and 2. She was as cautious and careful and law-abiding as they come. Born and raised in that area, she served at the local school for over 20 years, volunteered relentlessly at her church. She loved her community dearly and devoted her life to it in many ways. As she drove to pick up cabinet hardware to complete the dream kitchen she had worked on and waited 25 years for, her car rapidly approached a vehicle in front of her on US 131. She slowed and brought her vehicle to a complete stop as she realized that car in front of her was actually in reverse on the interstate. Though she saw him, though she controlled her own vehicle, another vehicle behind her didn't have the time or luxury of stopping. This woman was 37 years old in the car behind her. My mother-in-law was hit from the rear at full speed of 77 miles per hour by another innocent woman. Then her car imploded into the driver in front. They were both killed in the accident. Both Christians, both community servants. One a teacher, one a nurse. One single mother of 2 young children.
And so just
now being raised without parents. The driver of the initial vehicle, in reverse, was a Haitian immigrant named Antoine Azard.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. People that can't drive, people that just, and the thing about it, they are playing by different rules. When we get a driver's license, what do we got to do? Okay, first, and I'm sure it's the same way in all states. And sorry for the loud noise. I got another video coming up in a minute, obviously. Sorry for the loud noise, but when we're trying to drive, trying to get a license, first you get learner's permit, you take driver's ed, you got to actually get in the car with somebody and drive and show you can drive. Okay, you're going with your parents to go out to the parking lot, wherever, practicing how to turn and how to merge into traffic and all the rules of the road. You do all of that. Now, you do that process, get your permit, get your license. Now you off to the races. What the migrants do is whatever they want. No licenses. They get a sheet of paper that says they can drive and they're out there on the road. They can't read any of the signs. They don't know what the signs mean. They don't understand how to drive. They just do whatever they want. And as a result, real people get affected. Real people get affected. Okay. So that's what it is. And it's not just the Haitians that do this. You got the Venezuelans. You got all these migrants that come over here. Listen, as I said before, the corporations are only focused on competing with each other and making money. So if one company hires a bunch of migrants for slave labor and you want to compete with them, you're doing the same thing. This is all an environment created by the federal government. You allowing everybody to come in and take advantage of the situation. Americans are the ones that end up footing the bill for all of this. As I said before, we spend $450 billion on the migrants every single year in this country on the federal level. Okay, that's what we do. $450 billion every year. Well, it might be federal, state, whatever. That's how much the taxpayers spend. That's our money that we spend on them. Then there's the social problems, the criminality, the gang warfare, the language barrier, the diseases, everything. They're taxing us to the point of no return. The companies can make money. The politicos can feel good. The rich folks living in the ivory tower feel great. Hey, we letting all these migrants bring us your tired masses. We got tired masses, huddled masses here in America already. You could walk right past them on the street. It could be a veteran with a cup. You walk right past him, but then a migrant from that country. Hey, come on in. Here's some money. Here's a gift. Here's a big kiss. Why? Come on into the country. This is why Americans are upset. It's like, what about us? You are not the priority. You are not the priority. That's just the reality of what's going on. That's the situation. Okay. Now we got to get into the Chicago situation here. Oh, we got to get into it. We must get into it. All right. So this video is really crazy. Shout out to New York Post for going out there in the trenches.
America has allowed gangs to enter our country.
The migrants that are coming, they're taking over every block right now.
The city of Chicago is going to go up in smoke, it's going to go up in flame.
Gangs in Chicago are angry over the influx of migrants and criminals in their city. They say money that should be going to the African American community on the South Side is instead going to what they call non-citizens, and warn that turf wars between Chicago's gangs and groups like Venezuela's Tren de Aragua could see Chicago, quote, go up in flames. Photographer Matt McDermott and I traveled to Chicago's South Side to see what was happening for ourselves after we heard about a police report last month that the Tren de Aragua gang had taken over an office building there. We spoke to a number of young, hardcore gang members, as well as gang elders who have retired from the life, and just regular citizens who are very much part of the community. And they're all furious at the estimated $500 million that's reportedly been funneled toward new migrants in Chicago since 2022. And they aren't happy either about what they say are Venezuelan criminal gangs that are leaving the shelters and spilling out into the south side into abandoned buildings. I spoke to Tyrone Muhammad of Ex-Cons for Trump, who runs a street patrol and violence prevention program. He's gone straight since his days as an enforcer for the Gangster Disciples. And he said the situation is very tense on the south side as turf battles between the local gangs and Venezuelan migrants heat up.
It is impossible to release gang members and criminals into our country through the borders and broken walls, and infiltrate them in our communities that's already impoverished, that's already broken, that's already disinvested. And when the black gangs, the leadership in the black gangs in Chicago get fed up with the illegalities and the criminal activity of these migrants or non-citizens, the city of Chicago is gonna go up in smoke, it's gonna go up in flame, and there's gonna be nothing that the National Guard or our government can do about it when the bloodshed hit the street.
Let's pause. The reality is that the Chicago gangs are no match for these third world gangs that come in. The Venezuelans, that's like MS-13 on cocaine. These guys are not for play. I mean, the violence south of the border will make you, it'll shock you. Mexico is bad. Venezuela is worse, depending upon where you are. Listen, in Mexico, you can get disappeared for anything. I put it to you this way. There was an incident that happened. I forget how long ago it was. It wasn't that long. It wasn't like 100 years ago. It might have been 15 years ago, 10 years ago, where it was about 40 or more tourists who were all kidnapped and deleted by the cartel from a resort because one cartel got mad at the other cartel and they wanted to send them a message. Okay, we're going to break in your resort and delete a bunch of your tourists. Regular normies, Americans, so what? And we saw them people that got deleted right there at the border when they came across. I don't know what they were there for, but they got deleted. And you're talking about decapitation, people getting put in vats of acid, that kind of thing does not happen with Chicago gangs. You never seen no gang member in Chicago putting a body in the vat of acid. What they do in Chicago is squabble over little things. Girls, Jordans, starter jackets. Charleston White deleted somebody over a starter jacket when he was a kid. Real talk, went to prison for it. A starter jacket, a piece of fashion. Down there, they will delete your entire family for the slightest inconvenience. Okay, let's say you got a Venezuelan that's interviewed by somebody, and then they say something about Tren de Agua that's wrong. All it takes is for them to see you on that camera, maybe even hear your voice. If they think that it's you, they're going to go to your family in Venezuela and kill them all. That is not really what you see in Chicago. These guys are not ready. And you know what? We got a case study for this. Actually, this is not the first time this has happened with, a replacement of black folks by Hispanics. Compton, California. What wound up happening there was, and shout out to the person that told me this in my comments. I remember this story. Compton at one point used to be all white. Blacks came in and became all black. Now it's not the same way anymore. Hispanics came in, and what they were doing was attacking any random black person, shooting them, killing them, beating them up, burning their house down. They literally ethnically cleansed black folks out of Compton. The same thing will happen here. That's the end result. The Venezuelans are worse than the Mexicans by far. The Mexicans, Guatemalans, they cool. Actually, that's my homies all day long. Shout out to y'all. And the Venezuelans are cool too, but it's the gangs that come across that are the problem, especially the Tren de Agua, those guys right there. I mean, it's pretty much over. You guys have been cleansed already. You don't even realize it. Your days are numbered.
Blacks against migrants.
Zach Massey did time in state prison with Tyrone Muhammad, although he's only 27. He's a leader on the streets and said he's disgusted by the money going to Venezuelan migrants at the expense, he says, of the African American community.
I finally actually talked to him on the translator app, and he told me all the things that he got going on, how they help him get a car, apartment, clothes, link. So it's just I just be looking at it like they ain't got no social security number. Where they come from? He probably not even here legally.
They get right here, they get quick housing, quick funding, food, and get cars with no license. They can't even read English and stuff like that. So they get all these perks when they get here, and we still here starving. So what we gonna do about it? Are y'all gonna listen to our cries?
Listen to our cries. Listen, I'm going to say this, and I said it on my Twitter. I said it years ago. I've been saying it for years. And the things that I've said years ago, like when I first came out, 2015, 2016, and so on, I get called all kind of names. You're a coon. You're this, you're that. I can't even say coon, can I? That might be a cuss word actually on YouTube. You're a C word. You're all these things I get called, right? And the things that I said when I got called those names are coming true. Listen, I said back in 2021 that there was going to be this thing that happened with the replacement. Hold on. Matter of fact, let me find this tweet right quick. Let me find this. Yeah, I saw that, Hassan. Eric Adams did get indicted by the federales. If you're just not coming in, Eric Adams, New York City mayor, has been indicted by the federales and will turn himself in on early next week sometime. Early next week. But I'll do a video on that tomorrow. But I did cover that a little bit earlier. All right, let me see if I can find my tweet here. But basically, in my tweet, I was talking about the replacement. They will replace you. All right, hold on. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But I said that back then, and they said, oh, you're exaggerating. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. What I said is happening, exactly what's going to happen. But listen, they're not really worried about trying to hear your cries anymore, black man. They're tired of you. The way Chicago feels, in my opinion, hold on, matter of fact, I found it. The way they feel is that you guys are a burden. You guys not productive. You just kill each other. You don't know how to behave when you're downtown. You just do whatever. And it's like no upside. You don't help with the economy. You're just a drain on the system. So all you guys in the community still are going to just get flushed out. And that's been going on for a while. Gentrification, whatever you want to call it, is going to go in overdrive now because they're going to bring in productive people. Although they got problems, listen, hear me very well. They would rather have the Venezuelans and their gang violence over you and your gang violence. One more time. They would rather have the Venezuelans and their gang violence instead of you and your gang violence. Black folks in the hood in Chicago, gang violence, not productive, don't care about education. Venezuelans, gang violence, productive, and they might learn English, maybe. All they want is that lower class to serve the wealthier people in the city. I said it before. I said black folks worried about slavery coming back. When it really hits the fan, you'll beg for slavery. You will beg for it. But watch this tweet right here, though. Look at this. I said it back then. In 2021, I said this. Why do you think reparations? Why would you give reparations when the Democratic Party are set to give 30 million illegal aliens amnesty so they can replace you in society? I said that back then, years ago. Oh, ABL, you're Uncle Tom, all this, that, and the third. You're this, you're that. Okay. You're all these different things. Okay. Now on here, they're going to be with it. But a lot of people, they're saying, oh, I'm wrong, all this and that. Okay. Here we are. Here we are. It's happening. And nobody will come to save you. you're pretty much on your own. Now, let me go back and finish that up right quick. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's play a little bit more of this, and I got some more videos to get to before we get to the calls.
Corey Rogers was a Blackstone gang member for years. He drove us around the South Side and showed us areas where he said Trendo, Awagwa, and other criminal gangs are setting up shop and what he called showing the flag, which means brandishing their weapons in front of like a housing project.
The migrants that are coming, they're taking over every block right now in this area. Right now, you don't see them because they come out at night. They said they took this courtway over probably by last week. They said it was 100 Venezuelans standing out in the front right here.
Terry, is it an abandoned building? How do they just take it over?
They just, when you take over something, you just stand outside, and that's called showing the flag.
What kind of guns?
Semi-automatics, anything you name, you're gonna see it on the street. These boys got so many big guns that if they're 150 pounds, the gun is bigger than them. I swear.
But they know how to handle it, right? They know what. Tell me about the fact that they're criminals, right? This is a criminal element. These aren't just a bunch of Venezuelans that walked over the border and used to be gardeners back home, right?
Right. And they come from the gangland. They come from rougher gangs than us.
Exactly. They come from rougher gangs than y'all. That's the reality of what's going on. Now I'm gonna play my man right here, and then I'll move on.
One gang member who only gave his name as David on a particularly dangerous drug dealing corner on the South Side did not
on King David
hold back when he talked about the influx of criminal gangs from other countries into Chicago.
The real issue is that America has allowed gangs to enter our country. Gangs that they would consider terrorist groups that are formed here. We are terrorist groups if we're in a gang. They let terrorists in our country.
The Reverend Corey Brooks also said to me he's disgusted with Democrats.
Now, Corey Brooks says that, hey, you know what? Hopefully we get more Republican voters out of this. I mean, for real, it's too late, to be totally honest. At this point, save yourself. Save yourself, man. Get away from that area and just do that. Like, voting at this point in Chicago and that particular part where the migrants are coming, it's over. Leave. If you got sense, if you got the ability to get up out of there, do it. If you can get a firearm because you can't leave, do that. The police ain't gonna help you. Look, Brandon Johnson, your mayor that y'all voted for, talking about some, oh, we got the shot spotter technology is racist. Okay. So we have fewer police officers, fewer tools to help us, but an increase in the crime and the risk of crime by bringing in brand new gang members to gangland that's already got a problem. You're on your own. Voting will not help you at this point. Leave Chicago, please. Or at least get out of that area, because go up north with the whites and everybody that has sense. You down there in that part of it's over. It's over. So yes, America First, we saw that. Eric Adams, New York City mayor, has been indicted. We did see that. Shout out to him. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. I got some more here. I got some real estate videos for you guys. I love doing these. Now, this is what you get for $750 a month in Garden Grove, California. That's $750. I don't know what you're going to get for that kind of money in California. I mean, you can't even get a shoebox out here for that kind of money. So in California, I don't know. Let's see.
You can rent for $750 per month in Garden Grove, Ca.
So here's your entire living space.
Oh my goodness. Again, I can't tell if we got carpet or slab foundation. This looks like it might be some type of. All right, so you see what's going on here. What is this? Is this a converted garage, a front porch? I don't know. We have some electrical outlets on the floor or near the floorboard. I don't know if we have any air conditioning or heat in here, any kind of HVAC, any kind of ventilation, any kind of air control in here.
So here's your entire living space. And here's your restroom.
Nah, that's crazy.
A la fresca.
Okay, that's the restroom. This got to be a joke, man. Like, there's no pipe. I mean, there's a pipe, but it's where's it going? A pipe to nowhere.
Wow. This is cardboard. Someone was actually renting this out. No, it doesn't work. What do you think? Your plugs?
Okay, it looks like carpet. Looks like carpet. I thought it was slab foundation. Looks like carpet. No kitchen, just a bathroom.
What you can rent.
And that's what you get. California, $750 a month. $750 a month. That's crazy. They could at least, throw a little bit of that landlord special paint on there. A little bit of landlord paint. You could go get some white paint, off-white paint, and just throw that on there. I don't know, man. It's rough. Now let's go. Let's get a little bit more realistic, shall we? That was just like some kind of a bomb shelter at best. Not even that wouldn't be no good bomb shelter, because we got no siding. We got daylight through the actual siding. But anyway, this right here is Inglewood, California. $675. Let's check it out.
Oh man, this is a really exciting home, you guys, because look what's next door. We have the Intuit Dome on Prairie Avenue with the Intuit Dome parking structure. You have Starbucks next door. You have the liquor store next door. You have the SoFi, the Hollywood Casino, Cinepolis Luxury Theater, and more. You guys, if you guys don't pick this up for yourself, you can actually pick it up as an investment, Airbnb it as a sports home for those sports events at the Intuit Dome, only half a block away, literally walking distance. You can see it there, and the Forum. Let's not forget the SoFi. You guys, this comes with a 2-car garage, central AC, central heating, 2-bed, 1 bath, quartz countertops, little front yard, little backyard. You can convert that into an ADU, or if you're going to use it as a sports home, then I suggest maybe you can use that as a little bit of a host garage for like a little mini bar area.
So this home, $675,000, 2 beds, 1 bath, right next to the SoFi Stadium. Isn't it? That's where the Rams play. Let me make sure I'm saying the right thing. SoFi Stadium, Los Angeles, and Inglewood, another little gangland area. That's going to be done pretty soon as well. Hey, if you can't be productive out there, you're going to be out of there. They're going to take Inglewood back. They're going to take all that back. All that South LA, that's going to be taken back. They want that back. They don't want to be up in the mountains all the time. They're going to be right there in South LA. All them crack smokers out of there. All the homeless people out of there. Yeah, that's where the Rams play. Or the Chargers. And the Rams? Hold on. Is it the Rams? I'm so confused. I've not watched football in a while. Because I know the Rams had moved there. And the Chargers also play there? I don't know. Yeah, the Rams and the Chargers. Got it. So yeah, all of that's going to be, that's all going to be gentrified. That's all going to be, like, that price right there will be a steal in the future. $675, that'll be a steal in the future for Inglewood. That'll all be developed. Okay, so, and I'll say the same thing to anybody. Hey, if you're living in an area right now to where it's kind of like underdeveloped, it's a little bit hood, but it's next to a desirable area, you don't have, what happens a lot of time with gentrification is the needs of the community are actually being met, but the people are not ready. They say they want money, they want investment, they want jobs, but they're not prepared to take the jobs. They're not prepared for the investment. They're not prepared to live better. All they can do is live kind of, in a lower lifestyle. What they should do, rather than worrying about gentrification and investment, they should go to where it makes more sense for them to live. Example, a lot of the New Yorkers from the 90s came to Virginia, North Carolina, etc., because Brooklyn and all that was just too expensive and too dangerous. So they come down to Virginia to live better. Now your goal should be to upgrade yourself from a Virginia and live, comfortably, rather than living that same kind of hand-to-mouth hood lifestyle that you had in New York or Los Angeles. And also leave your gang banging and criminally violent ways out there where you came from. Leave the Puff Daddy, Diddy Party energy over there when you come down here. So yeah, shout out to Inglewood. Ain't no more of that Bloods, Crips. Ain't no more of that going on. Ain't no more of that Inglewood family. That's gonna be done soon. That'll be done very soon. So get ready. Don't say I didn't warn you. I've been saying the same thing for a long time now. All right, we got a few videos on Kamala. Then I move on and get to some calls.
Let's be clear. Let's be very clear. I am running for president to help the illegal immigrants because we have more in common than what separates us, and what separates us is the unburden of what has been and what has not. The 3 million homes that I plan on building are for the illegal immigrants because they need help the most. And also, I have no policy in place, no foreign policy for the war in Ukraine and the war in Gaza. And let's be clear. Let's be very clear. I meant what I said, that I'm not going to do anything specifically for black people, including reparations. So we need to move forward to destruction and crime. Because we love crime and we love chaos. Just look at all the major cities that are ran by my party. Homelessness is on the rise and unemployment is on the rise too, but don't worry. The American dream is for the immigrants. And we support illegal immigration to the T, and we will keep that border open. Yes, we will. But you need to vote for me, Kamala. I am the new way. Please vote.
So there we have it. Shout out to her. Very, very well done. Very well done. Let's keep on moving. Now, this woman was briefly shown in an ad during the Oprah town hall where she was trying her best to save Kamala, but unsuccessful.
So
let's watch some of this.
got my 4 seconds of fame on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and of all people to be her guest, let me show you who it was.
Americans 18 to 34 say that the cost of living is their top issue ahead of the election. Let's take a look.
Groceries are extremely expensive right now.
I don't understand how people are affording life right now.
Do I look good? Okay. To my Americans, let me make something perfectly clear, okay? I do not support Harris for president, okay? I want to be unburdened by who has been in the White House the last 3.5 years, okay? As I stand here today, on this stage, standing on this stage today, the day after yesterday, I just want you to know, okay, how I stand. And how I stand today is that I do not support Harris for president, okay? Okay, all right, cut. Did I do good? Barney, you gave me the questions 72 hours ago. I was able to practice those, okay? Now go get my makeup so I can clear up my freaking face.
Alrighty, so there we go. Shout out to everybody doing their Kamala impersonation. I love it. I love it. Black, white, whatever. We can unite on how cringe and bad Kamala is. I love that. That is amazing. America, you gotta love it. All right, so let's see. All right, hold on 1 second here. And I got another one I wanted to show. Oh, I'm going to show this. Controversial. It is going to be controversial, but I got to show it. Now, do you know that Kamala was involved with Michael Jackson's cases back in the day? Did you know that? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That could...
Now, I'm going to give you a warning because Michael Jackson, hey, listen, Michael Jackson at the end, like late 90s, looked crazy. The Wacko Jacko days, he looked crazy. Shout out to Michael, though. Shout out to the Jackson family. I'm not trying to say nothing, but Michael looked crazy. So I'm warning you right now about this picture you're about to see.
That could mean life in prison, and cases like this can depend on the testimony of the child accuser.
In general, the child will be able to recall and recollect with some detail the incident, and that is persuasive to a jury, even if it is the only testimony that is available.
Jackson gave a wave when he was released after booking. He's scheduled for arraignment in January.
Michael's been a long-time resident of Trump Tower, and last night the Donald strongly reiterated his defense of Jackson with Larry King by going after the accuser's mother.
She's had plenty of experience at going after people, and she goes after them viciously and violently, and I saw a story and I read another story about some of the things she's done, and I don't believe it.
But you know what it's like when an indictment comes down.
It's tough.
It's presumption.
It's tough. It's tough to win, but I have a feeling he's going to win, Larry. The interesting thing is I've known Michael from many different standpoints, and Michael would spend a lot of time with my kids. I have beautiful kids, and at the time, like at Mar-a-Lago, and even in Trump Tower, the kids were very young. Michael would come, play with the kids. He just loved children. He was not a child molester, and I am certain of that. He loved children. He'd play with my son Eric and my son Donald, and he'd just play with them forever. He loved children, but he was not a child molester. And, you know, that whole final saga of Neverland and the police and what they did was, I think, a very, very bad part of Michael's life.
So there we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, he's a racist. Word? For real? Michael Jackson living in that Trump Tower, letting Michael play with his kids. All right, he's racist, though. Okay, cool. We keep hearing these stories, everything. He's a racist. Since when? Since when? Huh? I don't know. Now, speaking about Michael, Janet, listen to me very well. I don't care what Janet Jackson said. Janet Jackson could say that the moon is made of cheese. I'm like, you know what? Hey, that's Janet Jackson. I'm not going to say anything. We've loved Janet since she's been a child, since she was on, what was that? Was it Facts of Life? What was that? Was she on that? 2D, whatever? I know what I'm talking about. Janet has been a star for her whole life. Since she was a little girl when her older brothers were doing Jackson 5. We've always loved Janet. I know I've always loved Janet. And it's not even a race thing. Janet is like an icon globally. So why would I throw Janet Jackson away or throw her under the bus for this random lady? A politician, really, that I don't even know nothing about? Kamala could never make Rhythm Nation. Kamala can never be the soundtrack to any family reunion. Kamala, good times. Thank you, good times. What's that? Facts of Life, I'm tripping. Good times. Yeah, I'm tripping real hard. But I don't know why I got that in my mind. I'm thinking too many thoughts right now. I got this big head for no reason. But anyway, it's Janet. Now you got D.L. Hughley talking about, oh, well, she must have questioned Kamala's race. What about that white woman's nose she got? It's like, for real, D.L. Hughley? For real? You look like Lori Lightfoot in the face right now, D.L. Hughley. I don't want to hear a word from you at all. You look like Lori Lightfoot. You might want to go and get some work done to that face. How about that? How about that? Don't talk about looks, DL. Look, DL, we come from the same place. We from Virginia. You from Virginia too, originally. So we grew up roasting. That's all we do as kids in Virginia is roast. We could do that if you want to, but you probably shouldn't with Janet. I don't understand why you would. But anyway, let's go to a little bit of news on this. Hold on. Oh, and then they tried to say that, well, the first thing was Janet was being interviewed by The Guardian. It was a written interview. And then the lady was asking her, hey, so how do you feel about the first black female president? And she's like, well, is she black? I can't tell because I saw in the news that her dad is white or he's Irish and her mom is Indian. So where do we get black from? Where did we get black from? Hold on. Matter of fact, I got a picture. I just want to show it right quick. Yo, Dio looks just like Lori Lightfoot in the face. He has no room to be trying to joke about somebody's nose and plastic surgery and stuff like this. But anyway, so above, we see what we have here. We have the Indian family above. And listen, it's okay to be Indian. It's okay. It's not a bad thing. But don't tell me a lie that you're something that you're not. So above, we have the Indian family, and then below we got the Black Americans, the Jacksons, one of the most famous families in this world. Okay, you got Michael, Tito, Jermaine, Randy, and R.I.P. to Tito. R.I.P. He just died recently at age 70. R.I.P. to Tito. R.I.P. Michael. Is Reby still living? Shout out to Reby. Centipede. I know, but I love the Jacksons. Love them. That's our family down here. That's our people. Them up there, hey man, y'all can do what you do, but you're not us. You're not like us. So don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, that's what I see. But it's crazy to see how many people try to throw her away. The Breakfast Club giving their donkey of the day, Dio Hughley making jokes, talking about her nose. Nobody ever had anything bad to say about Janet Jackson. The only time anything came up was when the whole Timberlake situation happened and whatever came out on the Super Bowl stage, that was the only time where she was like caught up in the mix of something kind of crazy. But beyond that, nobody had a problem with her at all. Nobody. And I'm not going to start right now because of some political stuff. Even with Usher, listen, and it's not even just about because she said something about Kamala that I agree with. It's not even about that because Usher got on TV and said that he supports Kamala Harris for president. I didn't say anything negative. I just said I disagree with him. And I defended him because they were trying to get him to talk more and to get deeper to the politics. I defended Usher. Even though he says he supports Kamala, I still defended him. And I didn't say anything bad about him because he supports Kamala. So it's not even about that. It's just about, I'm just a real person. That's all. That's all. All right, let's play some of this, shall we?
It's time for Donkey of the Day.
It's a read, but you're so good at it.
You're trying to be a fake.
Now, The Breakfast Club, How the Mighty Have Fallen. You guys used to be a really popular show. Everybody used to watch you, but it's not the case anymore. Now, they gave Kamala the Donkey of the Day. Pardon me, not Kamala. They gave Janet a Donkey of the Day for speaking bad about Kamala in their mind, for questioning her race. They said, you are the person who needs to be ridiculed today on the radio. And I'm glad, listen, I'm glad that there's a bit of a kickback. I ain't going to play what they did. They just were attacking her. But you see the like to dislike ratio, 3,000 likes to 3,200 dislikes. And there go one more, 3,201. There we go. Dislike. I'm glad to see people are kicking back. Their audience, their black urban audience is kicking back against them. I'm going to read some of the comments here, but I ain't going to show the usernames. Let me see what's going on. Charlamagne, the real donkey today, right here. We cancel you people before we cancel Janet over Kamala at that. Please, LOL. Why are y'all mad? Because telling the truth, Janet can never be canceled. I stand with Janet. She is not black. My parents are from Jamaica. Just because you are from the Caribbean does not mean you're black. Janet Jackson was correct. Many of us believe the same thing. It is not misinformation. Peace and love. What a person says now and compared to birth certificate is two different things. And just like Janet, I forget the rest. Janet is right. She ain't black. Finally, celebrity willing to be truthful. Breakfast Club really went out sad. They don't even try to hide their shilling. The only time I heard Kamala say she was even black, she looked uncomfortable saying it. So they're like, yo, you know what? We're not believing this. We're not buying into it. The old guard are trying to hold on to the people. They're trying to keep them in line. Yes, Kamala's black, and you got to go out there and vote for her because she's black. No, she's not black. Give me a better reason. The whole color thing is not working anymore. Give me a better reason to vote for her. The black thing, no, I don't care. Not even black anyway. And even if she was black, that's not the only reason why you vote for somebody. Because again, I say, if it was Candace Owens, would she be given the same grace? Oh, well, don't question whether she's black or not. Don't question her politics because she's black. No, they're going to say that you shouldn't vote for her because of this policy, and that policy. But when it comes to Kamala, that's not a thing anymore. Now policy is not really important. Funny how that works. But anyway, shout out to Janet. We love you. And we're not going to throw you away because of some random lady that wants to become the president. Some cackling lady that wants to become the president. A lady that don't know whether she's black, white, Indian, or whatever. All over the place. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And yes, we did see that New York City Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted. What do y'all think? Do y'all think he'll go to penitentiary? Maybe across Little Rocks? Is he going to just get a slap on the wrist? What's going to be the punishment for Eric Adams? And as far as I know, the main thing was a campaign finance violation because he got money from the Turks, not Young Turks, the group, but the Turkish government to his mayoral campaign improperly. That's the allegation here. I don't know. A lot of his team got raided already. So if they're raiding you and you got the feds on your back, it's pretty much over. It's pretty much a wrap. So yeah, shout out to Janet Jackson. Shout out to Eric Adams. Janet can do no wrong. I don't care what she said, really. It don't even matter what she said. She could say anything. I'm not going to throw her away. She could say that the earth is flat, the moon made of cheese. She could say whatever. Who cares? She's Janet Jackson. But anyway, we got super chats on deck. Then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Thank you to Apple who says, how was your birthday, ABL? Would you do carrot cake? Yeah, it was great, man. I got my cake. I didn't get my carrot cake yet, but I got a different kind of cake. I got a sakatumi cake. That cake was perfectly just the right amount of sweetness because I don't like super, super sweet things. So I had some of that and it was on point. Okay. And what I'm going to do this week is get some of that carrot cake from Trader Joe's specifically. Okay. Have me a big back day. I had a small big back day on my birthday, just a tiny big back day. But when that carrot cake hits my system, it's going to be a full big back celebration. So yeah, thank you for the super chat. He also says, ABL, I checked out City Cafe menu online. Oh my goodness. They got 35 kinds of cakes. Each of them look so delicious. What cake did you have there? Okay. You're doing your research. Now, City Cafe, when I would go there a lot, my favorite cake was the apple crumb. Oh my Lord. Listen, the apple crumb cheesecake, it's going to be about 2,000 calories, but so what, man? You live once. You live once. That crumb texture, it's just, it's an amazing thing, man. It's an amazing thing. It'll change your life. So yeah, shout out to the apple crumb cake over at City Cafe. Hey, dudes, like that picture? So, dudes, I took a picture of myself. It got a lot of attention because I wanted people to have a place to say happy birthday or whatever on my Instagram and whatnot and on my Facebook page because you can't post on there. So I posted this. That's me on the Mustang out there in Chattanooga. And my goal was just to find a place where I could just get a good shot. I had my tripod and I had my phone and I let my phone record for like 30 seconds. I got into my uncle pose, you know, the African uncle pose. I got into the uncle pose And then I looked at the video. I got a screenshot of the video. And then boom, there go the picture. 30 seconds it took me. If they thought it was like a professional photo shoot, it's like, nah, just my phone on a tripod. That's it. Okay. Yeah, no gang signs. I don't gang bang. I'm just out there chilling, man. I'm just having a good old time. Yeah, shout out Nuga. I love it. Yeah, I told you. Yeah, I'm pretty tall, pretty big guy. But yeah, that's pretty much what I did. So a lot of you guys like the picture. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate it. Shout out to y'all. All right, yeah, but that Mustang, I love it. I'm telling you. Now, when I was leaving that particular area, it was some guys trying to get me to race. It was a Corvette on my bumper. I'm like, you know what, man? Nah, I'm just chilling today. I don't want no smoke. I'm just chilling today. Okay? Because y'all driving kind of crazy anyway. I'm good. Y'all go ahead and just have a good time. Let me just do the old man cruise right now in the Mustang. All right? Oh, you want to see the picture? Okay. Hold on. All right. I feel so weird because I'm not even this kind of guy. When I started my YouTube channel, it was faceless. For you guys who remember, it was just my voice. I ain't want to get on camera. But my dad, being the sage, he was like, hey, listen, you need to get in front of the camera because you got the good looks from me and your mother. Get in front of the camera and use it. Use it to your advantage. I ain't want to do it. He convinced me to do it. The same way I ain't want to get a phone with the full screen on it, but I got convinced to do it. But it was a good decision to make. All right. So yeah, shout out to the Mustang. I love that car. But anyway, thank you to Apple who says, you see Suge Knight's comments, who runs hip hop, agree. I did not see that. I got to check it out. Thank you to Apple again who says, why DOJ after Puff Daddy and Eric Adams? Systemic racism? Hey, man, I think not. I think they got some splaining to do. Thank you to Michael Critchlow, who's happy birthday, ABL. Thank you for that. Thank you to Grandma Lynn, who says, happy birthday, ABL's mom. Shout out to mom again. If you guys did not catch it when I first came onto the stream, today is my mom's birthday. Okay, today's my mom's birthday. And I will not tell you how old she is. We'll just say 25 for right now. Yes, I'm 40 years old, and she's 25. It's totally fine. That's her age. Just rock with it. All right. Shout out to Al Feria. I know I told you that, but I'm sorry. Who says, how's it going with the emoji? Appreciate you for that. Thank you to Apple Barker, All Puff Daddy, who says, RIP David Lee, St. Louis police officer, deleted by illegal immigrant. Where's BLM protests? Where's Democratic Party? Where's R. Sharpton? Thank you to Kaius Posthumous, who says, testing. Can y'all see this? OMG, man. Thank you to Boomhauer, who says, happy birthday to mom. Happy late birthday to you, ABL, and RIP to our Chicago police officer friend. May you rest in peace, and may you keep shining. Thank you for that. And if you guys didn't know, I got word that our retired Chicago police officer friend did pass away. RIP to him. Prayers out to his family. I did get his name and everything, but I'm not gonna reveal that. But yeah, that did happen, unfortunately. Thank you to Apple, who says, Nancy Pelosi's husband sold Visa stock before Visa's current legal troubles. How does Mr. Pelosi do it? He's a financial investing genius. Nancy's lucky. Yeah, I saw that. So he sold quite a bit of stock. What was like millions of dollars? Hold on. Paul Pelosi stock. Let me see how much he sold. Okay, it wasn't a million. So Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi, remember the hammer situation? He sold $500,000 of Visa stock. Hold on, I got an article. Let me show you right quick. He sold $500,000 of Visa stock just before the DOJ's antitrust lawsuit. Isn't that called insider trading? When you have knowledge of the inside workings of a thing and you trade based on that, isn't that called insider trading? It's kind of what it sounds like to me. All right. And then thank you to Scripture Shores, who says Christian rock fans loved Paramore, band sold out. Thank you to Kaius Posthumous, who says Jesus Christ is King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Thank you to Rockvolution too, who says, "Hey ABL, do you believe in?" I don't know what that is. Joe Hendry, I don't know what that is. Thank you to Susan Elkin, who says, "Why has Heritage not come out and stated Trump is not part of 2025? They're doing harm, and I think they're really anti-Trump." Well, I think maybe they did come out, but it doesn't matter because the media are going to just go on this campaign and run with it. But if they didn't come out, I think you're right about that. Thank you to Lena Davis. Hey ABL, sending love from Canada. Thank you for that. Thank you to Howie Brown, who says, "Houseboat with adjustable stilts should work oceanfront property." Yeah, there you go. Thank you to Rebecca, who says, "Diddy bodyguard said long ago the NYC officials are going down with him." Well, there it is. That could be it right there. So you got Puff that got locked up, and then all of a sudden you got Eric Adams that got locked up. So what's going on? Oh, he's a TNA wrestler. I have no idea who that is. Shout out to Joe Hendry, though. All right. And thank you to Rebel Without a Reason, who says, "In their mind, we are all just letting this free meat run wild." Exactly. The cats and the rats and the bats and the dogs. You got all these fat cats running around. Ain't nobody eating them. You go ahead and put it on the grill right quick. Thank you to Caius Proximus, who says, "So what's going to happen when all the pets are gone?" And can I say something right quick? Why all of a sudden are people talking about eating cats being some kind of thing that could never happen, but we always accuse the Chinaman of serving cats in the hood? Can I tell you a story briefly before we get to the next super chat? Okay, so I used to be a big Chinese food connoisseur, but lately I've been on a big health kick, so I've not had Chinese food from like one of them little 10 minute. I've not had food from one of those spots in a long time. It's been years. But anyway, back in the day when I did go, I kind of knew how General Tso's chicken tasted. I knew the general flavor of it. Now, I went to one spot when I was like, I say 20, 21-ish. I was real young. In downtown Portsmouth, Virginia. And y'all probably would know it if you've been out there, because it's like this real ornate place right by the Children's Museum. They got this dragon and stuff on it. Oh, I'm going to go in there and get something to eat. Now, I got the General Tso chicken. I know that it's going to be pretty much the same, but I bite into it. I'm like, this meat is a little different, you know? This meat ain't quite as, it's a little stringy. It's not really, you know? And I'm thinking, this does not taste right at all. I don't like this. I think I got a bag full of cat rather than actual chicken. So I threw it away. I didn't take any more bites. If we say that that kind of thing could be going on, why is it a stretch to say that other migrants aren't doing the same thing and eating the food? Why is that a stretch? I don't know. Yeah, I ain't like it, man. It was not right. Now, shout out to Howie, who says, drives Dems crazy and keeps repeating cat stories. Yeah, exactly. Drive him crazy to repeat the cat stories. Thank you to SW 101, who says, Captain Ogilvy voted for Kamala Harris. Thank you to Golf and Guns, who says, side note, I moved all my money to SoFi Bank and loving it, 4.5% interest on savings. Ooh, okay. Baller, getting money. I'm trying to be like, can I borrow $1, sir? Rockvolution 2 says, I think Kamala was behind the Tucson sabotage. She did invite people to the Trump rally, and then that happened. Yeah, so her office got shot up out there. Not Kamala, obviously, but a campaign office in Arizona got shot up. But nobody was there. So that could have been the thing. Yeah, exactly, Miss Hayes. It was stringy. I ain't like it. It was stringy. It was, I don't know, man, like yarn or something. Thank you to Atomic Tabasco, who says, was our Chicago cop ever in our chat? Can we have a moment of silence at the end? Shout out to you. I got you, boss. All right. We got calls on deck. The number to call is, somebody said ABL 8 Garfield. You guys are funny. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. That is the number to call. There's also an email in the description to be on the screen, bottom left-hand corner. And that's it. So 434-658-1220. Yeah, no alley cats. Yeah, you got the migrants are coming to a place. You normally have stray cats. Now all of a sudden all the stray cats are gone. Where do stray cats go? They went into somebody's hot pot. They went into somebody's soup. Somebody's, that's what happened. So please, please, please protect the cats. If you got cats, protect them. All right, let me get myself together right here. All righty, there we go. All righty, Les, what's going on?
Hey, ABL. Yeah, I get the first call of the night. Hey. How are you?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Good. Actually, you know what's crazy? And I wanted to say, so the Little Patriots have gone to Utah. They will be spending it there till about November. It's crazy. But I did speak to them. I did let them know that I called in last week. So today they did tell me to make sure if I give you a call to say hello to everyone, including yourself, ABL.
Right on. Absolutely. Shout out to them.
And I just want to go ahead and talk about what's going on with the whole illegals, the Venezuelans over here, or the Haitians, whoever the heck is coming over here to Chicago, right? Because at this point, it's whoever is, these sanctuary cities are taking in, right? It's, Chicago gangs have a rep, but I don't think they're ready for what, what they're being met with at the end of the day. Because it's like what you said. They're fighting just, girls. It's the drugs and whatever other illegal activities that they're into. But at the end of the day, I really don't think that they have, they're just not. It's like they haven't. They. How can I put it?
The level of violence they're not prepared for is different.
They're not. No, it's a whole different animal. It's exactly what you said, like how it is in Mexico. Like it's a whole different breed of what's going on in Mexico too. I mean, it's something that you don't see here in the streets of Chicago with the gangs. What they do here is pretty much laughable, even in Mexico terms. So at this point, and I found that very interesting too, how you played that one video with the gentleman stating that they're not hearing our cries anymore, the Black community cries. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's not only the backs of the Black community, it's the backs of the American taxpayers in general. Like we're all paying for whoever's coming into this country illegally. So tier, right? Because I mean that in reality is why part of the whole that's part of the equation of why we have such a high inflation right now. So it's going to be interesting to see, ABL, and then also that what you said, how this was the plan of the deep state in reality, right? Like the Democrats, right? They wanted to go ahead and replace the Black community with a lot of these illegals. And it's so crazy to me. And this is just so that everyone can think. But I know everybody here on this platform is on the right. It's on the same page as us, right? So they want, so especially in the Democrat-run states, they want these illegals. They prefer them, and they will tolerate the violence. But isn't that crazy how they're going to go ahead and tolerate not only illegals, right? The guns. How are they even getting a hold of these guns illegally? Because I know they cannot purchase it the legal way, right? Or the legal route, the way they have it for law-abiding citizens. But then yet again, they want to go ahead and take away our Second Amendment.
It's crazy. Totally crazy.
Come on. It's insane. And I also want to go ahead and just, thank you so much. Just giving you thanks for investigating and then sharing with us the news about our retired police officer, Chicago police officer. And I just want to go ahead and say, may he rest in peace, and for all of us to please keep his family in our prayers. And, may our retired Chicago police officer find eternal peace now that he's no longer here. So I want to just go ahead and just leave it at that. No, ABO, wonderful show. I love you all. Have a wonderful night, and God bless everybody. Take care, ABO.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye.
All right, great call. Yeah, the level of violence, the kind of violence that happens south of the border, Central America is not this like Chicago gangs. They shoot over the dumbest things. It's not like the way it is down there, not at all. So when they bring that third country level violence up here, all it's going to be is an extermination. Let's keep on going. Let's go to 201. You don't allow me to speak it to.
Not at all.
Hello?
Yes.
So when they bring that third level violence,
Am I on?
You're on. Turn someone from the background for me, please.
I was going to be.
Oh, okay. I did.
All righty. What's going on?
Hey, ABL, am I on?
You're live.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. I'm Mo Kelly. I'm from New York City. And I want to talk about Eric Adams. The guy's being set up by the feds. As soon as he came into office, he kicked everybody out of the homeless shelters. And he says, we're getting our hotels back. And this whole Turkey thing, it's a hoax. It's a hoax. Eric Adams, the only thing we know about him is that he had a girlfriend in Jersey. I mean, that was the biggest scandal about him. I mean, he's on the conservative side. He had the entire Jewish vote locked, which is, you get that Jewish vote, you're locked, you win New York City. But he didn't have the courage to come out and say, I'm MAGA, I'm pro-Trump, because I still, 3 years into it now, I still can't wear my Trump hat around here because I will get punched in the face. It's dangerous. And the feds are coming after him because he is anti-migrant, and he has said so on many, many occasions. The city council is bought and sold by the Hamas, whoever, I'm saying. They claim that they're going to give us the black people reparations, not me, not the Irish. Screw us. Anyway, I'm saying? I'm sorry. Yeah, I just cursed. I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
I get all nervous. Yes. I just wanted to. I really wish I didn't vote for Donald Trump in 2016. I didn't vote for anybody in 2020, but I was in a homeless shelter, and I remember watching. I didn't vote for anybody, and nobody voted because we were all in lockdown. Because if you remember, they told us all to stay in our houses. So who went out and voted? I mean, I've talked to plenty of liberals, and they all say, no, nobody voted. Nobody voted. And I think people who have been Republicans for a long, long time, and I am a conservative now because as soon as my friends abandoned me, I ran to church. Long story, but or a short story, but anyway, it's bad. It's bad. The liberals, they don't know Donald Trump's actual plans. I mean, he's had a plan. It's Project, 47? It's been written down. The media doesn't know about it. The New York Times, I get their headlines. I don't actually read the paper, but I get the headlines. I'm like, what are you talking about? Why can't you just talk about his actual tax plan instead of just, that's ridiculous. Anyway, Eric Adams is innocent. And, or they want to put him in jail because the Virgin Islands lady, Stacey Plaskett, she came out and said that she's against white fragility and Christian nationalism because they're after our Christians, okay? They're after us. And now that I'm a Christian again, I have zero friends, and they tell me I'm part of a cult. I'm like, how can I be part of a cult if I don't have any friends? You guys are part of the cult. And this is what I think people who have been conservative and have voted for Trump do not understand. As soon as he came into office, they tried to impeach him. As soon as they came into office, all of a sudden, the brown shirts, because let's just use the Nazi metaphors, The brown shirts came out, they called themselves Antifa, and they started burning down the country. The Democrats started a civil war in 2017, and I think you all got to pay attention, because I can see because I've been a vote blue no matter who all my life. I'm 55 years old. I know what's happening. I can see it. These people will not talk to me. They scream at me. They yell at me. I said, well, what do you disagree with about his plans? I don't want to talk about it. You're in a cult. They're just crazy. I had to turn off my Facebook. Also, to put a button on it, I have tons of Haitian friends. In fact, some of my greatest friends have been Haitian. They've all been Christians. I've never met an actual voodoo practitioner. They're importing Satanists into this country on purpose. Why? Why? You got to ask yourself why. Why is Stacey Plaskett talking about white Christian nationalism? Why do they hate Christians so much? Why do they love Satan? You know what I'm saying? And why does Eric Adams not have the courage to say, I am pro-Trump, and that is it. I'm now a Republican. You vote for me, you're not vote for me, but you put me in jail because I'm on the X, and all the liberals are like, he's just another Democratic mayor. I'm like, no. This is a Democratic town. No Republican gets elected, except for Giuliani, which everybody hated. But that was a long time ago. And that was a weird thing because we also had, what's his name, the short, rich guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right on.
The short, rich guy, the super rich guy. What the heck is his
Bloomberg.
name? Bloomberg, yeah. So maybe he was a Democrat or an independent. I don't remember.
Well, Bloomberg was a pretty liberal guy, and he's definitely an anti-Trumper as well. But I don't mean to cut you right here, but I got a lot of calls on the line I got to get to. So thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Everybody's got to, see the game for what it is. They're coming after Adams because he doesn't like the migrants. And I want to one more thing. I was talking to a lady yesterday about some sort of thing on, she was in Pittsburgh, and it turns out she's from Camden, New Jersey, which is a very black town. And so I didn't know at first, but then I was like, oh, okay. I think she doesn't know that migrants do not go to jail.
Right, yeah.
The media is not talking about it. Migrants break the law. I said, you never saw the video of the guys beating up cops and then getting out of jail the same day and giving the fingers to the cameras?
Yeah, it's really crazy. It's really crazy. The migrants, they pretty much do whatever they want. They're giving carte blanche. But I'm sorry, I do have to go to the next call. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, ABL. I love you.
Thank you. Appreciate
Bless you. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to... All right, anonymous caller. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Ivan, man.
Hey, hold up. Before you start, why do you call from like various numbers? Is there a reason for that?
No, I'm just calling for my number. It's my number.
But it says anonymous. I can't see what the number is. But sometimes it'll be a number I can see. Is there a reason for that?
Oh, okay. Well, you don't want me to fact check you? That's the problem.
I'm asking the question.
No, I'm just calling. What's the problem?
All right. Never mind. Go ahead.
Okay, so I heard that you were talking about the case with Puff Daddy, and then the indictments against the mayor of New York. Those are the feds, right? Those are the federal government, right?
Yes, the feds.
And then, do you really believe that they did what they did, or do you have any doubts? Or
well, as far as Eric Adams, I'm not quite sure, really. I don't really know a lot about that because it just kind of happened today. So I'm just getting the breaking news. All I could do was just read the article. But as far as Puff Daddy, I believe that he probably did that.
Oh, okay. But do you trust the Fed? Do you believe that the Fed, you know, did the research and follow through the case and that's why he's getting indicted?
Well, I don't know why he's getting indicted. I don't know what the actual reason is, because the thing about Puff is that he's been doing that for a long time. So I don't know why all of a sudden now he's getting indicted. All that I could guess is that because of the whole Cassie situation brought a lot of light to it and got a lot of attention. But beyond that, I don't really know why he's getting indicted now, because the things that he's being accused of, he could have been indicted 20 years ago.
Oh, okay. But do you believe that maybe they didn't have enough evidence? But do you really believe that the Fed did their job effectively when it comes to this situation?
You're asking me a loaded question. Just get to the thing that you want to ask me.
Okay, so do you believe that all those guys, you believe that the Feds are effectively? So, you know, you read the indictment for Trump from the case in Georgia, right? And then the other cases with the fake electors.
Look, man, just get to your question. Just get to the question.
No, my question is, why do you don't believe the Feds in that case, but you believe the Feds in other cases?
Now, as far as the whole thing with Trump, we know that's BS, because look at all the cases. Like, look at the evidence of what's happening with these cases. They're being discontinued. They're being, okay, we're going to delay this sentence and it's after the election. It's all bogus, and everybody knows it. And the charges they're trying to get them on, the thing in New York with the real estate, that's what real estate developers do. That's what they do. Even leftists got on TV and said that. So nobody had been charged with that before. It's lawfare. It's being abused against Trump, and it's clear because of the nature of the charges. Now, when it comes to Puff Daddy, we got videotape of him stomping Cassie out. We have that on videotape. Like, we have her word. We got videotape, witnesses. There's a lot more evidence that I've been able to see. Excuse me. There's a lot more that I've been able to see than Trump. Real estate stuff, come on. Things that nobody gets charged for is dumb. What did it say? He overvalued. Hey, hold on. They said Trump overvalued his property and defrauded banks. How could you even know that? That's a dumb charge versus human trafficking and things like this. That's a whole different kind of charge.
How do you know that is the human trafficking? How do you know that?
Well, I don't know if he did it or not. Like I told you.
Oh, okay. So you're assuming.
No. I didn't say nothing. All I say is I probably believe it because the thing. Excuse me. So you're trying to ask loaded questions, because what you wanted to ask me from the beginning is, since you believe that Puff Daddy did this and the feds charged him, why don't you believe the feds when it comes to Trump and what he did? But the charges are much different. You're comparing apples to oranges. Compare apples to apples. But you know what? If you talking while I'm talking, I can't hear you. Nobody else can. So you should just be quiet and let me finish. But you got the floor now.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying that people they do value the real estate. That's you could overvalue your real estate as long as you have no transaction with the bank, because that's fraud.
No, it's not.
So that's not
no,
like
it's not. Because
that's
the thing,
fraud. Yeah, that's fraud.
How do you know that the value is overvalued? Who's to say? Because I can tell you. Hold on, wait. Excuse me. I can tell you my house is worth X. It's up to you to believe it or not. And if you disagree, we negotiate. That's called doing business. Everybody does that. I say, like, if I want to sell my house, I say, you know what? It's worth $1 million. And I list it for that and nobody buys it. Okay, now I got to go down on my price. Same thing with dealing with the bank. I think my assets are worth X. They look at it. They investigate. They inspect. We don't think so. It's worth Y. You meet in the middle and you do deals. That's called business. You don't get indicted for that. Nobody else does. Excuse me. Nobody else does other than Donald Trump. That's why I say it's bogus. But look though, if you're talking while I'm talking, you can't hear me.
So let me. I just 5 minutes, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I just don't want to continue. You're just so ignorant.
I'm ignorant, but like, okay. Did I say anything wrong? Is that? Did I say something wrong?
You submit documents with false information to a bank.
It's not false because because you can't look. Listen. I got a question. How do you know how much a property is worth? How do you know that?
Well, that's why you have an appraisal, right?
Exactly. Thank you. So what happens? I say my house is, excuse me, no, stop. I say my house is worth X. What does a bank do? They're going to get an appraisal. They're going to inspect it. They're going to go look at it and see if they agree. That's how it works.
Okay, so let me explain to you.
So we agree on that.
2 minutes, I can explain to you what happened. You going to allow me to talk for 2 minutes?
Go ahead. You got the floor. Go ahead.
Okay, so the people in the banks were friends with Trump. They were part of the fraud because they didn't check.
Word.
But doesn't mean because they didn't check.
Did anybody get charged? Did anybody get charged in the bank with fraud, or was it just Trump?
Well, everybody you commit fraud is fraud.
Did anybody? Excuse me. Did anybody get charged with fraud in the bank, or was it just Trump?
Yes.
Who got charged?
Avenatti, the lawyer from
the bank, sir. The bank, sir. Not Michael Avenatti, the lawyer. The bank. Did anyone from the bank who colluded with Trump, according to you, did they get charged with fraud? Yes or no?
Well, I don't know. That's
all right then. So look though. Doesn't it make sense if there was a collusion between Trump and the bank to commit fraud that you're going to charge everybody involved with the fraud? Why just one party?
Well, I don't know specific about that. But what I know is
exactly.
No, this is what I know.
All right.
What I know. If you submit documents to a bank, it's fraud. But I want to move on.
Okay.
Can I take 2 minutes before I leave? Okay.
All right, go ahead.
So another thing with the migrant Haitians and Venezuelans that you keep saying that they're illegal, but they're not illegal because they're under temporary protection service. As you know, the Refugee Act give you temporary protection based on your condition.
Sir, who said illegal?
You said illegal.
No, I didn't. I say migrants. I always say migrants. I'm very cognizant of what I say.
You said illegal.
I said migrants, but go ahead.
Okay, so I don't want to continue. So my question is, those who came from Ukraine, 230,000 came from Ukraine. I think 30,000 came during the Trump administration seeking asylum. They are on the temporary protection. I believe some of them already got the asylum status, but no one complains about them. They took the same resources as the Haitians and the Venezuelans. They are, I'm sure they're taking the resources, but no one complains about them. It's because the brown people and the black people don't have the complexion for the protection. That's what it is, that they don't want them in the neighborhoods.
No, it's about the problems that are caused by these people. The gangs. Do we have a trend there, algorithm coming from Ukraine? Or it's just Venezuela?
Yeah, I mean, but you're talking about a small percentage. In the Haitian, they don't have any gangs, what I know. I'm talking about overall. I'm not talking about the small little problem with because there's not the gangs is a small piece of it, the very little. Let's focus in the Haitian situation.
Okay. Look though, you don't got too much time left. So give me like 20 seconds.
So why they're not complaining about the Ukrainians though?
We're complaining about those that are committing the crime. Those are causing the problems. Like, I don't got a problem with Haitians specifically, or the Venezuelans, or the Ukrainians.
Well, the people,
excuse me, answering the question. I don't got all night, so be quiet. I don't have a problem with the specific people. I got a problem with the criminality that is brought by any of the people. And the criminality is allowed to come across the border. That's the problem. That's the issue. Whether they come illegally, whether they be as an asylum seeker, a visa, whatever it is, they're bringing in the illegality. If the illegality was kept to a minimum or removed, then it wouldn't be a problem. Also, you're dumping, 20,000 Haitians on one little small town at 50,000. Has there been an instance of Ukrainians coming 20,000 deep, going to one little small town, 50,000, taking all the jobs, working under the table? Has that happened? Yes or no?
They are in Delaware. They are in Philly. And
the question is the exact thing that I mentioned, that scenario, has that happened? Yes or no?
They are not taking anybody.
All right. Okay, so that'll be enough. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it. All right. So yeah, shout out to the Ukrainians. Listen, are the Ukrainians coming 20 deep to your small town, taking all your jobs, eating cats, rats, bats, dogs, allegedly, taking all the jobs, don't know how to drive, tripling it? Come on, man. It's about the problems and the massive numbers of them at once in one area. And it's all about corporations trying to make money. That's crazy. where you got these guys that want to, shield for communism, come out here and defend the capitalists who abuse the system. Well, actually, it's a government making them do it, but that's a different story. The government is incentivizing them to do it. Let's go to 781. You know, who am I speaking to?
Oh, this is Peter from Boston. That was rough, man. Let's take a deep breath and let's move on from that. That was a little frustrating. Real quick though, what he was saying about the whole fraud thing, if anybody was going to sue Trump for that and make it look like it was a legit thing, it would have been the banks suing Trump saying, "Hey, he frauded us." You can't create a lawsuit and say, "Hey, we're going to sue you because you did something wrong to someone else." The banks are perfectly happy. They got all their money. They got all the interest. He didn't miss any payments. I don't understand how anybody can look at that case and think it's legitimate. It's obviously just fabricated out of nowhere just to attack him because he's him. Anyway, what I really wanted to talk to you about was my prediction for the election, and I wanted to hear your opinion more importantly, if you were interested in that at all.
Absolutely. Sure. Go for it.
All right. So we've all seen the pretty common calls to violence that the Democrats throw out, just pretty much from elected officials. It's pretty horrible. We've all seen it. It's pretty common. They claim we're violent, we're conservative, blah, blah. But, they all do that. So what I'm afraid of is it seems pretty obvious that he's doing really well in all the swing states. And if it were just an honest and free election, I think we would all see a pretty big red wave. I don't think the Democrats are going to let that happen. If you watch the media, the mainstream media, they're spinning this narrative like it's the closest election of American history. It's neck and neck. It's not neck and neck at all. I mean, it's not neck and neck. I mean, it's very much not at all. But I think they're doing that because come election time, the next morning or maybe a day or two after the election, they're going to have a metaphorical gun to the Associated Press's head to call it for Kamala. If they're going to do that, they're going to say, "She won, look it, we knew it was super close, she just squeaked ahead," and all the swing states, or enough swing states, are going to be magically blue to make her get 270 or whatever. They're going to play, right? Like in Arizona now, illegals can vote. So Arizona, my prediction is going to be blue for sure. Or it's going to be red in reality, but they're going to say, "Oh, look it, we got all these mail-in ballots from all the illegals that can vote," and she's gonna get 270. They're gonna say she won, but I think this time with him having enough support, I think that they will get caught for sure. But what I'm afraid of is that when they say she won, I'm afraid that this time there's gonna be conservatives that aren't gonna just be quiet and keep their mouths shut, and I'm afraid that there's gonna be uprising, and I don't want that, because if there is, what the mainstream media is going to do immediately is they're going to say, "Look at this is because of Trump, this violence, this is all," and they're going to blame Trump for whatever anybody does out of frustration for them cheating another election. So that's my prediction, is that Trump is going to win, but they're not going to let it happen. They're going to call it for Kamala, and any uprising that happens, they're going to blame Trump. And it's going to get messy and ugly, and I hope that doesn't happen. But what do you think about that? Do you think that's absurd or likely or unlikely? What's your thoughts on the election?
I don't really see that kind of thing happening if they're trying to call it when it did not go for her because of the potential for civil unrest. I don't really see that. I think they're going to do whatever they can to make the people not want to vote for Trump and vote for Kamala. And that's why I kind of throw water on the whole rig thing, because if they could rig it, there's no need for all this stuff. Why do all the lawfare? Why do all the propaganda? Why do the control interviews, the softball questions, getting the questions beforehand, the alleged earpiece in the ear? That seems like too much trouble to go through if they could just simply rig it. So I don't really see that happen. And I think that they're trying their hardest to keep Trump out of the White House, but they're really not going to be able to stop it, in my humble opinion.
Interesting. Okay, that does make sense. That's a good point. Yeah, like what you're saying. So you're saying they're putting all this obvious effort they're doing to get people to vote for her. Why would they do that if it's just as simple as saying, "Hey, we won"?
Exactly.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better because I'm just real worried about any like because I mean I'm surprised honestly with how the selection went in 2020 that there wasn't uprising from conservatives with how just slimy that whole deal was, and I just feel like if something shady again happens with this election, like there's too many people that at this point would just be just in shock with another 4 years of this administration, and it would just not be, it wouldn't be good. And I hope they're not anticipating that. I don't know. We'll see. But I like your perspective better. I think that makes a little bit more sense. I do. And real quick, I just want to also give a shout out to our Chicago PD friend here. Rest in peace for sure. And I hope you have a great night. Thanks for taking my call. Look forward to hearing other callers.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Let's go to 215 on the line. Who's speaking to?
Real quick, I just want to also... ABL, I did not think I was going to get a call tonight.
You got in, boss.
Yeah. So for a split second, while I was listening, I heard you say Eric Adams get arrested. I'm like, wait, he got arrested? But then again, I was like, no way. I probably wasn't listening.
Okay, so he got indicted, and he will turn himself in next week.
Oh, okay. Because I remember him getting indicted. That was like a few months ago, almost a year ago, when his home got raided by the FBI.
Well, he didn't get indicted. He didn't get indicted at that point. He probably just got investigated. He was just under investigation. But now he got indicted by the feds, and he will turn himself in to the federal authorities next week.
Wow. That's crazy. And you don't know if it has something to do with Diddy or nothing like that?
I don't. What they said from what I read was it was about some campaign finance because they said the Turkish government had funneled some money into his mayoral campaign improperly. But it could be some Diddy stuff involved. I don't really know that yet. All I know is the whole Turkish thing.
Oh, okay, yeah. And another thing I wanted to say this real quick, ABL. I'm probably gonna start doing YouTube videos on it, but it's like with the whole Israel and Palestine conflict, even though that has nothing to do with America, I don't like the whole narrative that's going out, like what they're trying to say about the IDF, about Israel, because one thing I don't like is, like, for example, I don't condone of innocent civilians getting killed. Well, one thing I don't like is what they're not talking about is a lot of mainstream media does do this, is that they want, and some people are right are doing this, they like to say that, oh, Israel just indiscriminately bombing people, bombing places, killing innocent people. But what they're not talking about is how Israel are warning people, innocent civilians, to get out of the area like hours ahead. They're dropping down flyers, sending text messages, sending phone calls to innocent civilians to get out of the area before it gets bombed. And Benjamin Netanyahu said it himself that get out of the area, do not allow these terrorists to keep you there, because we're coming in there and it's just all out war.
Yeah, it's a mess over there, man. Hopefully it just comes to an end pretty soon, sooner than later.
Yeah, and it's just like, and yeah, it's like a lot of misinformation. I started looking into it myself more and more and more. And another thing is, like, one thing I've learned about Hamas and Hezbollah is they not only use innocent civilians as human shield because they want more civilians to get killed so they can blame it on the Jews and make them look bad, so they can say, oh, look what they're just bombing indiscriminately. But the reality is they're using them as human shields. They're hiding weapons like guided missiles inside innocent civilians' apartments. That's why all those buildings are getting bombed, because the IDF is warning them to leave the areas, get out of their apartments. And another thing that the terrorists do, they inflate the numbers of how many people get killed, and they report it back to the mainstream media. So the mainstream media falsely reports that, oh, 350 people got killed in the bombing, where in fact 350 people didn't get killed. It's probably like 50 or less that got killed in the bombing. I'm just saying hypothetically, but yeah, and there's a lot of that going on. That's why most of my sources, if I want to listen to like what's going on in the Middle East, I talk to people who are either on the ground, who are from the Middle East, who are like grew up there, and like who are actually on, not like these mainstream networks going down there because they like to spin it a certain way. Like people who are actually born there to get a good perspective of what's going on, the reality of what's going on, because I'm tired of the whole, because I don't like the whole, they tell one side, and I've seen some conservatives do this too. They only tell one side. It's like, why aren't you telling how you're going along with it, trying to make it demonize Israel? You're not telling the fact that they dropped flyers over into Gaza to tell civilians to leave the area. Netanyahu tell civilians, we told y'all, leave the area. This is about to get bombed by 12 p.m. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I know you don't have that much time left. Thanks for taking my call, ABL.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. You have a good night.
Same to you, man. All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. I got a little bit of time here. Let's keep on rocking. Let's go to 315.
I started looking into it myself more and more and more. And
315.
ABL?
Yes.
Hey, this is Troy from upstate New York. I know it's past your time or whatever, but I think I heard someone say that the police officer died, the Chicago police officer died. Is that correct?
Yes, he did.
Oh, that is so sad. Well, I'd like to just can I just give him a moment of silence real quick?
Let's do it.
And this is for him. All right. First thing we got to do is, as far as the election, we can't let them steal it this time. Everybody knows they stole it. You got people pulling things out from underneath tables. It's on camera. It's you know what I mean. You've seen it. Everybody's seen it. So we just got to not let them do it again. You know what I mean? And you can't back down. You got to fight, and it might be an uprising, but that's how you get things done. That's what the Democrats are doing. You know what I mean? They're just doing whatever they want.
Yeah, I think the main way to really combat the issue with the election is what they did in Georgia, did in Tennessee. Got to get those laws tightened up because it's a state-by-state situation. It's not a federal thing. So if there was any kind of funny business going on, it was in the individual state. Just like in Georgia, Fulton County, they're not going to be able to do no funny business because the state has tightened up the laws that are going to govern what happens in the individual cities. So that's the main thing you got to do. Focus on that, because anything else other than that is not really going to get to the core of the problem, in my opinion.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. But no matter where it is, what I'm saying is you just can't let them. You got to, like Cat Williams said, liars are not winning. 2024, it's over. You know what I mean? Start with Puff Daddy, and then we're going to win the election with Trump. And the other thing is, like you said, and voting is important. Your vote counts for real, right? Look at all the people they're bringing in. That's votes for them.
That's right.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I had. Just, you see, another thing, what do you call it? Get involved in the election. Be like a watcher, too. I think I'm going to do that. One of my friends was talking about that, so I think that's a good idea.
Hey, man, yeah, definitely sounds good, man.
Yeah, let's get this done, man. We gotta get our country back. This shit is crazy. Oh, excuse my language. I'm sorry, bud. All right, man. You have a good night. Peace, everyone in the chat, and have a good one, you guys.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All righty. Shout out to my man for the call. Let's go to 201. You're on line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, my name is Marianne. Thank you for taking my call.
All righty. No problem. What's going on?
Got a quick question for you and all the listeners. Has anybody heard anything allegedly about, I'll just use the first name, George, starts with the letter S, ends with the letter S, trying to purchase 200 radio stations in the United States, and them trying to fast track that purchase? Have you heard anything about that?
I've seen a headline about that, but I've not read into it yet, so I don't know a lot about that. But I have seen the story you're talking about.
Okay. All right. I don't know if any of the viewers or listeners have any information on any of that, because that's disturbing, going back to what the last caller said. because they are going to try and take this election whatever way they can.
Well, like I say, with the whole thing of the election being taken, you have to get your state under control. Be a poll watcher, do whatever you can locally, because every election is on a local level. It's not a federal thing. So get your state, your local town, city, whatever, get that under control. It's not a federal thing.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it.
Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
All right now. All right, let's go to 504. You're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Alien Spaceship.
All right, man. What's going on?
All right. I've been really enjoying the show, and you have done very well against Ivan and all of his nonsense.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I want to say, shout out to the Chicago cop, and, he's in a better place, and I really appreciated his calls and his shout outs and things that he said.
Right on. Absolutely.
All right. And I want to thank you for getting that information for us.
Oh, no problem. Yeah. Shout out to the person that sent me that. I don't want to blast somebody out, but yeah, shout out to them.
Okay. Yeah. Also, that was a really dapper picture of you with the car.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Yeah. So I think it's really wild about all these assassination attempts with Trump. And I think basically, one of my relatives thought about the Iran was after him because he deleted one of their leaders or something like that. And so I saw him make a post about that. So I do think that is another issue that they may be trying to get him out because he was, trying to, stop their corruption, in my opinion.
Yeah, that definitely could be a thing.
Yeah. And also, with the gangs and the violence and stuff, you see, the people weren't really prepared, like you're talking about Chicago, with what was happening. And, because they must have underestimated the problems that we're having. And all over the country in general, with all the migrants coming in, and some of these people, as you're saying, they're eating, animals and birds and stuff they shouldn't be eating. I think it's something that they didn't expect. And, that's a problem. And they really were underprepared for this, and they shouldn't have allowed this in the first place.
Yeah, I think they didn't really care. They were just trying to get the money. That's all they were trying to do. And they don't, the social problems happen as a result, they're not really concerned with, unfortunately.
Right. Exactly. I totally agree. I think it's all about money and greed, because there's a point where people could look like they're unprepared or they're appearing to try to help somebody. But in reality, they want money and the greed and stuff that motivates them, and they don't care who they hurt in the process. And in the end, all the American people are not going to tolerate this and want this, and it's going to backfire on them. And that's why they want to get, Trump out the picture, in my opinion, because he's going to, do what he can to put an end to this, and I think he'll do a very good job at it.
Right on. Absolutely.
Yeah. And also, I think that it was interesting to see Kamala in the past, what she was saying about the Michael Jackson thing, and also Trump made his comments about it, and that was a very long time ago. I remember when that happened. I was a kid at a summer camp at a sleepover when Michael Jackson passed away. And, it looks like their quarrels go all the way back to that time.
Yeah, definitely. That was really interesting to see the contrast and how they handled it. Very interesting.
Right. And I was thinking the other day, Trump was loved everywhere. He was in all kinds of commercials and movies. And then all of a sudden, when he went to become a candidate for the presidency, everybody went and hated on him.
Yeah, it was crazy how they changed up so quickly. Everybody was his best friend. All of a sudden, now he's the worst thing in the world. It's crazy.
Right. And, there's this trial I'm watching right now where this woman, she allegedly deleted her husband, and her lawyers are freaking out because of the cameras that are in the courtroom that are supposed to be there. There's nothing wrong with that. And then they're freaking out and trying to be secretive with their client. And everybody in the chat saying they must be hiding something. And I think, in my opinion, the people that didn't want Trump in there are definitely hiding something, in my opinion.
Oh, of course. Because the thing about Trump, he's like a bull in a china shop. He's going to come in and just destroy the system. And when that happens, but the result is that everybody's dirty laundry gets aired out, and they don't want that to happen at all.
Right. Like with some people have the opinion about with the Epstein situation that he may have known some things people didn't want him to go and talk about.
That's right.
Also, there's some conspiracies about with Diddy that he may know things that people don't want to know about, and that's, an ongoing thing. We'll have to see how all that turns out.
Absolutely. We will see how that turns out.
All right, ABL. That's all to say for this call. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right. So, yeah, shout out to my man for the call. As always, definitely a great win. I think that will be a wrap for me. Look at this. I got a birthday gift. Shout out to you. Peyton Walter said, I birthday to you and your mama. Yeah, shout out to mom, and shout out to you for the gift. I appreciate it. That will be a wrap for me. I'll be back live again on Saturday. Of course, same bat time, same bat place. 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. This is also an audio streaming podcast, and it'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. All righty. But again, shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody for watching, retweeting, super chatting. I could not do the show without you. Shout out to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all as well. But I got super chats on deck. I'm going to read those right quick. Then I wrap it on up and put the bow on top. Thank you to Hail Mary, who said, did you hear President Javier Guerrero Milei from Argentina speak to the UN? He tore them and their globalist agenda to shreds. I've not seen that, but I do want to see that. Let me see if I can find that right now so I can bookmark it. Yeah, and of course, Eric Adams got indicted by the federales. Yeah, so I got it right there. That's perfect. That is perfect. Okie dokie. All righty, we good. So I got that bookmark. Let's go back to the super chats. Thank you to Slenderella Charming for the dancing emoji. I appreciate you, Slenderella Charming. Thank you. Thank you to Bob K. MIT, who says, sending prayers to Chicago police officers' family or the CPD family. It just goes to show you that one normie can touch a lot of people without even trying. That's right. And again, thank you to Peyton Walter, who said, happy birthday to you and your mama. Right on. Thank you to Good Samaritan's Kitchen, who says, if RCPO has a surviving spouse, maybe you can start a GoFundMe. I don't know too much about that. Maybe if I get information, but I don't really know too much about the personal stuff. All right. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Again, I'll be back again on Saturday live, but I'm here all throughout the week putting out pre-recorded content. So tomorrow we got to cover Eric Adams. That's going to be top of the list for me to do a video on that. So look forward to it. But that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out and peace.